Ode killed the lead cultist by throwing him out the tower window. And Zeka had strategically set himself up at a different tower further along the route where the actual combat happened. So he was like waiting for the parade to come to him, and missed the combat.
Nice.
Luckily, though, it's a collective effort, so Zeka, once you guys rest, will also be level 10.
Oh, we're level. What?
As soon as you guys rest, I could have sworn I sent a message with it.
I think you did, but
Yeah,
I think you did. I just forgot.
yeah.
Totally fair. It's been you guys are buying a house. That's fair. Yeah. Once you guys rest, you'll be level 10.
Okay, so do you have any questions, Will or Zeka?
No, I feel like that was pretty good catch up.
Okay.
That's the magic of taking notes.
And for that, Mary gets inspiration because she remembered
God.
stuff I forgot.
What
Very
did you
nice.
forget?
It was Kezia finding the symbols. It was Kezia
Okay.
finding symbols because she broke one of them, which means one fewer shadow monster spawned in combat.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, honestly, that combat was only. Oh, sweet baby, he wants his ball so bad. I was like, why is Rocket whining and trying to get to my laptop?
Mm.
Yeah, that combat was like super easy. Like only 2 people were close to dying, including Archuk.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah, it was super easy. There's no point where anybody said in the second round of combat, guys, we need to run out of here.
Except Ode. She said I say that mentally every time.
And Eric.
Will-
Eric said
Will-
it twice.
He did.
Yeah, Eric
Will-
said we gotta run. We can't
There
win.
is one thing you missed from not being at the fight.
Uh-huh.
Because you weren't there, Artuk and a few others got chain lightninged instead. I'm sorry, it had your name on it, and because you were gone, I couldn't do it to you.
This is bullshit.
You're right. I'll chain lightning you next time.
Okay,
Hey, will
thank
you keep
God.
an eye on him? I don't know if you should have that tennis ball or not. Because he's just trying to rip it apart.
It was funny. I had
Should
it
we
ready
put it
down. I
away?
was just like, Will's gonna be so mad if this comes for him.
Is Chain Lightning the spell you guys made up?
No, chain lightning is it's way back during Eric's game. Do you remember the prince fight in
Get on
the
the phone.
throne room?
I
Sorry.
certainly fucking do.
Yeah, Will does because Eric glazed through that chain lightning spell that knocked Artuk from full to basically empty in one hit. He hit Will with 2 of them back to back.
Oh no!
So
Yep.
that spell is now Will's nemesis, which is why it was sitting there waiting for him. But he made a conscious effort to avoid that session. That son of a bitch.
Yeah, I knew. I could just tell.
Alright, give me just 1 second. Pop that there. Will, I'm also... Oh, what the fuck just happened? Did I scratch my... There we go.
Just gonna chew on that for the next 4
I put
hours.
it in roll 20, but Will, just so you can see, that is what the symbol of Shargaas looks like. But
Oh,
yeah,
very cool.
We are picking up immediately at the end of the fight. So all the cultists that were remaining have been killed. All the shadow monsters, on having the collective cultists, the head cultists, everything killed, were put down. Sunny put down the Shadow Knight. Kezia, you shot a fuckload of arrows into the back of that Shadow Knight, so it's peppered. They look like a goddamn porcupine in the... And Ode, you are standing over the head cultist, who's... I don't know if they have a face anymore. I'll leave that to what you did to them.
I think she was kicking them in the gut because she was like angry at them for having such an unclear message. But for using like shadow abilities.
Alrighty. Then, yeah, you guys, it is picking up immediately from the end. Morak, beside you, you see James Slimefoot look over the battlefield, raise his axe.
An axe?
Victory for Clan Tuscany!
That was definitely a tough one. I'm glad it's over.
Noble Prince, you fought valiantly. It was an honor to stand at your side. Will, for context, this man is a bullywug.
Oh, very good.
And Morak's godfather, apparently.
Biological father.
Or so he thinks.
Yeah, he doesn't understand what biological means.
I have 10,000 children this year. Statistically, it's probably you.
You know that is true, James. So yeah, okay, let's go make sure everyone else is fine.
But yes. Zeka, at the start of the fight, you saw the massive amounts of shadow and screaming and people running away, and with your lack of, restraint, you immediately start booking it towards the danger, despite many guards, civilians, and stuff slowing you down. Slowing you down just enough that you are arriving right about now.
David, can he roll since? Oh, Will, by the way, Morak got you acceptance into the Culinary Institute of Cathartas. So that's where you
Ooh.
were for the past 2 sessions.
No, but the last session he was just at a different tower, remember?
What?
The last session he just set up remember when the team was like, you probably shouldn't set up at like one particular tower, like along the route, just so that you can be mobile. And then we decided that Zeka was like, oh, that's a great idea, but I will set up at this one particular tower because I can get anywhere.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's fine then.
Yeah.
Your
I
cleric was in
agree
a
with
different
this.
tower.
Yeah. If Zeka shows up, Ode will run over to him and say, Zeka, are you okay? Did the monsters attack elsewhere in the city?
There were monsters in the city?
Yeah, and then she points over her shoulder to like the carnage in the street.
All the monster
Oh,
cards.
fuck!
There's carnage. There's just shadow, like, laying, like, a miasma on the ground, like, slowly sinking into, like, the sewer grates. There are, like, at least, like, 20 guard bodies just mangled and just on the ground dead, as well as cultists. Otis standing over something that basically looks like she punched a hole through the stomach. And yeah,
Jesus Christ.
there's a lot of death here, but it seems like it's isolated pretty much to this street.
Can I get a vibe check on whether we might have to fight more things later in this session, or if I missed possibly the only combat that Zeka would get today?
You know, I'll just tell you, it's no, there will not be a second fight today.
Zeka's just like shaking.
With anger or with sadness or
Why didn't
He
you
drank.
tell me there was fighting happening?
Well, it lasted like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, Arshuk is looking pretty bad. You could go help him.
To be fair, honestly,
I thought you were
that
going to
tower
say
that
you could go beat him up. Oh my gosh.
the
He's
tower that you
he's
were at
weak. You can kill him.
the tower that you were
Yeah.
at was essentially on the other side of the world. So like it's pretty hard to get over here in the 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I feel like it's like 7 hour time difference for whenever you tell me something to me, like understanding it.
It was 2 blocks. It's 2 blocks away.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why I said that. Anyway, well, good job. Oh, this looks like your handiwork. Proud of you for punching a hole into a man. And I'll go
And
be
sick.
a cleric, I guess. Huh?
I just climbed. I just like ran vertically up that tower, and she points to a 60-foot tall tower.
Holy shit.
It was pretty cool.
You also see a broken window with what looks like blood and cloth, because Ode yeeted them out it too.
Damn. All right. I knew I joined the right group when I joined you guys. Bunch of fucking murderous people, and then
Yeah,
where's
and Ode, like, high fives him, and then she kind of looks over her body or over her shoulder at, like, the mangled soldier bodies, and then kind of, like, she can't, like, m makes it less visibly excited.
just like shrugs.
Yeah. I
Um,
guess we should get everyone together, and she looks for the team as well.
The
yeah,
team's
where's
walking.
Artuk? I want to talk to him.
Artuk passes out from his
He's
wounds.
taking a
Uh,
nappy.
oh, okay, he doesn't need my healing then. He'll get a short rest. Anyway, what are we doing? What's the plan?
Well,
I feel like I just suddenly know everything that's happening right now, even though I don't have any business knowing.
Maybe we should ask the team what the plan is.
yeah. So do we have to finish the parade?
As you say that, Morak, you see coming around the corner from the block, the other segment of the parade stop, and then a lot of royal guards begin to rush forward and like secure the area.
All that matters is that the Cathartas University marching band is safe.
Morak,
We are nothing without our culture.
no, I won't take it from you. You do see one of the drums looks like it got scraped up, though. You don't know whether it was they just were banging it too hard and orcs are just very strong or what. Probably just dropped it. Don't even know how you drop and break a drum, but it happened.
I've done it.
But yeah, after just
I'm trying to get us to convene in a group to be talking with each other,
Oh.
possibly, like, next to the road or something.
Me too. I'm slowly walking.
Okay.
So you guys can all join up. You see the royal guard look over and just start like putting up like watches at like different crossroads, things like that, and basically just securing the area for you guys. You guys, they look at you for a second and then see Zatim and Morak and Byron disguised as the High Chief, and they think, no, we don't need to go up to them yet. They just start securing the area for the moment. So you guys have a second to talk, though.
I wanted to talk to Zatif.
Okay, Zatim is there with you. Yeah, she's there with you. She has gone over to
Just
start
assume
healing.
that Zatim and Gorsh are in this little
Oh
cluster
no,
with us.
no! I thought he just said that Zatim was working on like with the cards.
No, no.
I misheard it.
Okay.
No. I don't.
See, you do see though, saddling up is it seems like the one guard of all the guards that were slain, one single guard survived. And then he drops his illusion, and you see it's your dad more because he hadn't dropped his disguise the entire time.
Dad, what were you doing here?
I was protecting the High Chieftain.
We all know it's not him.
We're
You
not.
can drop it now, Byron. It's fine.
No, I think he should keep it up. Like,
Hmm?
yeah, I mean, the chieftain wanted it to look like he was in the parade, right?
I'm going to keep this up for just a minute. Yeah, yes. Leave it up. It seems just
Just
why
like,
don't you fade
just
into the
like,
background?
Byron, just like kind of stop talking because anytime you say a single word, you're clearly not the chieftain.
Yeah.
Just like, just
What do
stand
you
there, look noble
mean?
for a minute.
What do you mean? See, it's that right there.
Wait,
He does that petulant thing like.
look noble.
I'm Father Zatim. I'm glad you're safe. Do we know anything about what? Sorry, that was just a lot.
I haven't had a fight that lasted longer than 24 seconds or four standard rounds in a long time.
Me either. Do we need? Do we think we ended it? Do we think there's more?
Well,
Dude, you were the one that took out the leader. What did they say anything?
Um, I definitely was punching them in the throat before they had much of an opportunity to say anything. But there was that one cultist that Kezia and I captured and handed over to the guards before the parade.
Ooh.
They might know something.
I think
I wouldn't assume that there's not more, but I think that that was, from my understanding from their big speech about destroying the Tuskbanes beforehand, as much as they had to muster for right now. I don't
Yeah,
think we have to worry about a threat on the city happening momentarily.
that's good.
Gorsh nods. I think for the moment we're safe. Whether there's more, we'll need to investigate the catacombs and follow up with all manner of leads. But for now, I think the threat has at least somewhat been contained. Gorsh looks over all of you. Morak, can I speak to you privately for just one moment?
Of course. Walks
He
over.
just
Is
kind of-
Kezia actually at full health?
Yeah, she is.
I fucking did.
She dodged the fucking chain lightning.
No, it
Um,
was a weird thing in the combat of all of the squishy caster boys were like at the center of all of the monsters.
Yeah, and they kept just like
Oh,
edge
no.
themselves away, and then the monsters would have range. And they'd be
Yeah.
like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, and then all of the people that could take a lot of hits were kind of in the outskirts of the whole combat.
that was a delicious combat. But more, Gorsh takes you aside.
Gorsh.
Gorsh.
It took 3 years for me to realize.
It took us being in Cathartas for one session.
I know.
But your father pulls you aside, and once he's a little bit away, specifically from the team and just the immediate eyes of everyone, he just puts his arms on your shoulders and starts looking you over. My son, are you doing all right?
Yeah.
Are there any wounds I can send for healers immediately? You notice that he's basically he's going about this in a kind of calm, relatively clinical, are your arms or anything like that. This is the most concern your father has ever expressed ever. And are you able to continue? Is your sword arm good? Is it strained at all? My God, he's concerned.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's what like I guess my shield elbow hurts a little bit, but other than that, it was just a lot of bashing. But I think tomorrow it will be fine. Just do some stretching, you know. I think the team is doing much worse than I am. Uh, Uncle James and I kind of just wreck shit the whole time. Honestly, it wasn't even a worry in my part. I don't know if you saw. I was kind of kicking ass.
He nods. I saw, son. I saw very well.
Thank you.
How ominous.
No, I think it's
That was
my
about
day.
it.
You don't understand. We have a weird relationship. That's the most caring he's ever been to me.
Son, I um
Yes, father.
kind of looks around for a second, scratches his very minimal amount of beard. Son, I owe you an apology. That took you see it's straining.
You see Morak being like, "Wow, he's never said this before."
When you all spoke at dinner last night, specifically about kind of gestures over at Sunny, I was overwhelmed and frankly terrified for you. Traveling around with a death machine. And yet, that death machine stood toe to toe and defended what he thought was our High Chieftain, his greatest natural enemy. And I saw my son uphold the highest values under Grumpsh, defending our allies, defending me, and standing against all manner of threat that. Son, if you weren't here, and if your friends weren't here, I would certainly be dead. I'm proud of you, son. And he quickly walks away. and he walks off and like starts like yes, men, over this way, like trying to make it less of a moment.
You see Morak just doing like, thank you. He's just like standing in the. He's just over here inspecting a bush. It's like they'll figure it out. I'm just gonna
You
take a
see
minute.
Gorsh over there inspecting a different bush, making sure there isn't anyone hidden there. He's like poking it with his sword. Oh, seems secure. Seems good. Anyway.
I think there's a pollen thing. I don't know. I'm allergic to sadness. Allergic to emotion.
Truly an honorable battle.
Thank you, Uncle.
Okay, so Zeka and Kezia and Ode are in a group while we see Gorsh take Morak off to talk for a moment. What do you guys say?
You need me
in
to
that
go
small
like
group?
listen to that?
I think that I mean you could if you want to, but it seems like Gorsh had something he wanted to say to Morak in private.
Mm, mm.
The team will just go around with all of you and just kind of with her healing hands just hop you guys off. She has 30, so I'm not gonna bother healing people who aren't there. She has magically more healing for the absent characters, but just starts pumping some healing into your guys' wounds and just kind of begins to talk. So I agree with my father. The immediate threat has most likely passed, but frankly, I think the amount that they threw into this means that they're not likely to give up. Once I would ask that you all continue to help in putting down this threat and keeping my family safe. But before all that, I think it would be best if we kind of give the guards, give the captains a rundown of what happened. You hear in the distance.
You don't have to do the cheek thing. Just
No,
you
it's not.
got
It's not James. It's not James.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to get the voice right. And where are my babies? As you see, running from down the road, Morak's mother, Morak and Zatim's mother, in a bathrobe, kind of like that, kind of to keep your hair dry. I don't know what it's called, like the hair cover, like the plastic one.
Yeah.
Wielding two massive axes in either hand, just sprinting towards the street. Where are they? Who is trying to hurt my babies? As she runs up, this is probably a minute or so after your dad told you he's proud, Morak. So it's like still kind of coming to your senses. You hear this, it's like, oh no.
Morak walks over to the team and is like, "Did you know what's? Is she ever gonna stop?"
She tackles both of you to the ground. Oh my goodness! Squeezes both your faces against one another like this.
It seems like she grows 2 extra arms.
She's 4 arms and then 10.
Arms. She's doing one with her feet, one with her hands. Oh my gosh. Children, oh my grumsh. My sweet babies, are you okay? I see all this carnage. I'm hearing all kinds of things from down further on the parade float. Are you okay? Where
Yes,
is
Mom.
your father?
He's over there. We're fine.
You
He's
are
just
not
embarrassing us in front of our friends.
You were sword bashing again. I can see your left arm's strained a little bit. I can see it. Don't you try to hide that from me.
I just is how else I'm supposed to defend myself? You don't want me to like not defend myself?
Of course, I want you to defend yourself, but I want you to be safe about it.
I'll wear the arm brace again. I'm sorry. I haven't been wearing it a lot. I know you.
All I ask is that
Oh.
you take care of yourself. Now,
Ode
I'm
leans
gonna
over to Zeka as this is happening and says, hey Zeka, remember how you were able to send like messages to Naz? Were you able to send her like
Mhm.
videos of what's currently happening or something like what you can see from your eyes into her brain? Because I think that this is pretty important for someone to know.
Oh, like a memory beam.
Yeah. Like just a whole just kind of gestures to what's happening, just to be like, oh, this.
Hmm. Um. Let me
I
think
just
on
I
that
just
one.
want come on.
Is that how
I can
magic
like
works?
How
I don't know
why
how
don't
to
you
record
make
memory.
an
Is there a way
Arcana
to like
check?
record me?
Yeah. Um, it's definitely
Can someone
spread.
make it for me? I do not have a computer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I
Brian,
can
can you
do
do
that.
that?
Arcana. Load faster.
You'd
Computer.
think
There it
Europe's
is.
so cool, but they don't even have computers over there.
Let me just change this
Yeah, don't
kindly over
exist.
to
The Dark
Zeka.
Ages
Yeah,
over
wait, what
here.
happened to your computer, Will?
He rolled a
I didn't
14.
bring it with me.
Oh,
You not bring a
'Cause-
laptop?
No, I had my old laptop, which I thought about bringing it. Maybe I should have. I have my work laptop, but I can't get Discord on that. I'm
Fair
thinking
enough.
about getting an alternative option so that I can still play like PC games and stuff with you guys.
14 for Zeka, by the way.
Okay. I'll say this. You can send a vine of what you see. You can send a 6-second video directly to Naz, and that's it.
now I think from
Okay.
there we would have to consider if we want to like imperil this important union that's really important to Morak and the whole Orc Nation. But I think that'd be so
Like,
worth
can
it.
she save it? Is it just burned into her memory? Like, how does this work? This is
It's
terrifying magic that we're forcing upon someone. Imagine
forcing
if I was like, oh, guess what? You can never not think about this thing in your brain.
Spell. It's like if you got sending and someone said, "Hey, what's up?" You'd remember them saying, "Hey, what's up?"
That's
That's how
true.
I feel.
Isn't she here?
All right. So can I edit the Vine however I want,
No, it's
or
raw footage. It's raw. Well, actually, you could put a
so
filter
no
over it, but
cuts?
you can't
No
change the frame.
cuts, kinda grainy, bad phone.
Very cool.
You know, actually, in Orcish culture, your mother having a deep affection for you is a really admirable trait. So it might actually help.
Mhm.
As you guys are having this discussion, Zeka, just do you send a vine of this to Naz?
Yep, sure do.
All right, I'll just keep that banked for later.
Sorry.
But as this is finishing up, the team has been similarly getting read the riot act by your mother. Now, it's fine. It's fine. My babies are fine. They're fighters. I know they both are. However, I'm going to have a word with your father. Excuse me. Excuse
You-
me. She pushes one of the royal guards who was like walking over to see what was going on, just shoves him out of the way.
As she kind of like walks away, I kind of like turn towards like Ode and Zek, and I'm like, is this a normal relationship you're supposed to be having with like your parents? Like, is that normal?
I
I
would
don't
say
see
in
why
Orcish
not.
culture, it's not abnormal. Yeah.
Huh.
I
Clear.
honestly have no idea. I
Are you
didn't really
think
have much of a relationship with them, so you know.
I was bashed by multiple warhammers during that fight, and I think my cheek hurts more than the rest of my body. Oh,
Um. Kezia, did you want to take this opportunity to talk about your parents? That'd be fun. We can talk about that. I want to make space for it.
Oh,
Thank
no,
you,
I didn't really have
Fire.
parents. The closest thing was probably the Archron, and well, I killed him, so
Oh yeah. So he didn't ever pinch your cheeks?
no.
That's pretty good, actually, based on your relationship.
I yeah. I was
Well,
just curious.
yeah, no, well, maybe we don't all we don't all want to be Morak, and it's like nurture maybe made him like that, and you wouldn't want to be. So
I kind of
it's
like who
like, oh,
Morak is as a person, so.
Kezia?
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
you weren't supposed to hear that.
it's weird what happens to you, isn't it? Because he's just standing behind her, rubbing his cheeks.
It's so good.
uh,
Well, while that was happening, I was thinking about what we should do. It seems like the guards and the main forces of the day might have to deal with their tragic loss and kind of offering protections to the cities. So maybe we could take like a smaller group down to investigate the catacombs. And then Artek's looking pretty rough, so he might need to like just rest for a bit. And if we wanted like Sunny and Byron to come with us, or if we wanted to have them focus on like interrogating, helping with the interrogation of the cultist, that might be a good use of their skills. So just kind of thinking that's what I've been thinking.
I think it's good.
Yeah. Actually, that's fucking perfect segue for them. Yeah, Artuk is going to go and just take a rest on your guys' advice, but yeah, after a little while, you see some of the royal guards kind of approach Byron Sharn. Gorsh goes with them, takes them out, and then you see walking out of a tent Byron, Gorsh, and the actual High Chieftain from just a makeshift tent, just to resolve that
Nice.
before it goes any further. But
Yeah.
yeah, on your suggestion, I think that Byron and Sunny absolutely will go with the team to interrogate that the remaining cultists that you
Cultist.
guys captured earlier. Artuk will just go and rest for a while, and then now I don't have to deal with so many NPCs. The geriatric hobgoblin also walked away at some point. You guys may have noticed it, but you didn't really care, so he's gone. He's fine now. He seems to appreciate not being dead.
Oh no, I guess James also left.
Odrin pulls Morak aside
I'm right
while
here, my lord.
Oh, you're still here.
while people are kind of moving, and she says, "Also, have you seen Gamori around? It seems weird to me that he wasn't like more part of, I don't know, defending. I guess the chieftain wasn't really here, but like more involved with this.
No, I'm surprised by that too, but he might just be doing more of a logistical thing right now.
Yeah, maybe he was with like the real chieftain.
Yeah, he was probably defending Thrawn the whole time. Yeah, I'm good with that. I feel like the universe gave me a thumbs up for that one.
Sorry. Oh, actually, hold on. That was not to you. That was to Brenna. You didn't get a sign from the universe.
Well, I feel like the universe gave me a thumbs up, so I'm going with that.
Okay.
Oh wait, are you doing a feat instead of increasing your abilities?
Mhm.
That's fun.
Sharpshooter. Oh yeah, and you have your extra attack thing, so that isn't an absolute gimp like it is normally for Rogue.
Yeah.
Excellent news.
Oh, honestly, it's mostly just so that I don't have disadvantage as a tiny little halfling. Can't big have the
wait
big
a
bow.
minute.
I got an ABI
Oh.
at 12, so like make it happen, David.
Will do. All right. But yeah, you ultimately, Gorsh will give you the okay if you guys want to start heading towards those catacombs to investigate further. And you don't get the sense like, I'll just say you guys give your statements to some guards so they just know, and we'll just hand wave past that so we don't have to literally recap a third time again. But yeah, Gorsh will, as one of the more senior members here, will absolutely give you the okay to head on.
Every single ability that Eric gets, he says this is the new worst ability. And I think he just shouldn't be playing a fighter.
You know what's so silly? I didn't look at my abilities. I actually took sharpshooter.
What was that?
You already have sharpshooter?
Okay,
That's
okay,
funny.
I thought so. I was like, wait. I just assumed I misremembered. What do you get from being an Eldritch Knight at level 10? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
remember this.
This one's just stinky.
You're just saying that because Rocket.
What is it?
Well, I get.
You learn how to make your weapon strikes undercut a creature's resistance to your spells. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, that creature has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes against a spell you cast before the end of your next turn.
It's
So
a
it
good
would be
spell.
helpful if they had a disadvantage on any saving.
Yeah. Eldritch Knight, notably, I don't think any of Morak's spells require a save.
Oh,
Okay, it's
That
all
is where
over for
it's
you
a
guys.
problem.
Dexterity
And
of 20.
Ooh,
but
that's good.
eventually, don't you get the ability where you can cast a spell as a bonus action after you make an attack or something? You'd be pretty good for that.
I mean, yeah, but that's like level 17, I think.
that's
Oh.
18. That's level 18. I get that ability.
Well,
You're
can't
halfway
all be
there,
winners.
buddy.
I'm halfway there.
Alright. Let me find where this is.
Get more health.
Oh shit. Give me just
I run
one-
further.
You shouldn't be allowed to run first.
I have 50 movement speed, like standard.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, yeah, quick go around. So Kezia, do you just is it what did you get for being level 10? I'll say you guys can take your rest accordingly right now, just so we can move past being level
Hey!
10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just kind of leveled it up. ABI.
We
This
go
is
to a
ABI.
shawarma shop for lunch.
It like I got a third level, another second level spell slot, a third second level spell slot.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, I should probably grab another spell. I get another spell.
How do I,
Oh shit! I get a new. Okay, this isn't actually that bad of a level. Okay, I get more spells and stuff.
how do I add health? How do we do health?
Go in the character sheet.
No, I mean, but I add my constitution plus
What's
8?
your
No,
hit
plus
dice?
6?
There's a D8 for you.
Then
D8.
you add 5 plus your con.
Oh, okay. So my con is 2, so I add 7?
Yep.
Oh, but then it's
Oh my.
at 79, and that's not a very good number.
You're
Yeah,
not
just give her
convinced
80.
We can do 78. I'll just do 78.
What?
And this is why Mary gets inspiration all the time, because she does stuff like this, and I'm for it.
70, because if I get down to if I die with like 1 hit point left, I'll be annoyed. But I just know I'm under protest because 79 is a bad number.
Just need
At
to...
92.
92
See?
is a much better number.
Oh my god, I forgot I drew a bunch of P's to explain why I kept saying pods last session. I just went over to one of the different screens and I'm like, what the f is this?
And then the ability I get at 10th level is my mastery of ki flowing through me makes me immune to disease and poison. So please pull out all the diseases and poisons, David.
David, if I cast Reduce on myself to make myself a tiny creature, can I go underneath doorways?
I feel
How
like this
tiny
is
is a
a
tiny
dangerous
creature?
question to ask. Hold on.
Also, would the vents now be sized for me again?
Yeah, the vents, if they ever exist, again, will absolutely be properly sized. Let me look up the rules for tiny creatures, because I don't actually know.
It's like I'm 2'6" right now. Tiny.
That's so small.
I'm so small.
Small creature.
I am a small creature.
Will, are you still there? I feel like it's been a
yep.
minute. What do you
I'm
get
chilling.
at level 10?
I will find out eventually. I guess I could look.
I could look.
You know what? I will look. And you could also look. And we could look together. It's like a little...
It'll be like something we're doing together because we haven't done anything together so recently.
How tall is Kezia right now?
She's 2'6".
I'll say you could try to get under a door, depending
What if I
on the
cast it
door.
on Bailey?
Absolutely, 100%.
Excellent. I'm probably just
negotiation there.
okay.
You learn another cantrip. That's exciting.
Ooh, that is exciting.
You have 2 5th level spells, and something changes about your divine intervention.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
Zeka, you get divine intervention finally.
Oh, hell yeah. You know I'm trying that bitch every day.
Yeah.
Wait,
Alright.
did I just become level 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Fuck.
I feel like I'm gonna regret
What
giving
do
you
I...
this.
What is the first divine intervention, guys? Which is the first one I use?
That you gun for anyway.
It says you can call on your deity to intervene on your behalf when your need is great. Imploring your deity's aid requires you to use your action, describe the assistance you seek, and roll a percentile die. If you roll a number equal or lower to your cleric level, your deity intervenes. The DM chooses the nature of the intervention. If your
Right.
deity intervenes, you can't use this again for 7 days. Otherwise, you can use it again after a long rest. So, I feel like Zeka has no comprehension of what a great need is.
Okay, I will just... I didn't look at you leveling up at all. I will point out, Zeka, you're currently, not at this exact moment, but actively trying to find your dad across the Feywild.
Oh, yeah.
So, you
Hey,
could probably
just know, you're also not at a lot of sessions.
Well, but yeah, it's like if there's a divine intervention that happens like at the end of the session and Zeka like pops away and we're like, what happened to him?
Oh.
And then Will may or may not be at the next session. We can either do that or it's like, oh, he's in the Feywild.
You know, I don't actually know anything about divine intervention, so I just want to make sure it wasn't like Zeka finds out where his dad is like, okay, let's go get him, and then he's not here for the
The thing about
next
divine
session.
intervention is it literally just says you call on God, and if you get lucky, it works, and the DM has to figure out what that means of it works based on what you asked for. It offers no further guidance.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, it's up to you in the end, really.
I mean, yeah, I'm not.
Oh, it's
I
up to the dice roll if it even works.
Right, but even if it does work, like, if I'm like, I want to use divine intervention to become a god, like, I feel like
No.
even if that quote unquote worked, like, I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't fly, you know?
Correct. Hey, good sense.
Well, that's a much better thing to pray for. I was gonna turn the bag of holding into a bag of colding so that we could preserve anything that I'm making there and it wouldn't go bad like it usually does. But you know, finding my dad's probably a better
All right. All right.
I don't know about that one.
I
One's
thought I was
plot related, so
kinda
we'll
thinking of-
find it.
I was thinking of a stupid thing to use my first divine intervention on it. That was the first thing that popped in my head. But you know what? Fuck it. Whatever. Yeah. I'll wait until everyone's done with the leveling discussion. Then I will ask. I don't even know. What am I asking for? To bring my dad there to go see him?
That's up to you, buddy.
What do I know about my dad right now? I can't remember.
He is a archfey named Kalmet Zorkatel, who, according to Milosh, kind of just on your mom saying, I don't want to raise Zeka in the Feywild, wiped her memory, and then kicked her out, and your memory of the time, and sealed away your Fey magic.
All right. Here's what I'm going to ask for. And I will give the honor of rolling this to Brenna because I haven't seen you in a while, and I feel like, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool if you rolled it. And I will ask for a method to be able to see my dad whenever I want to.
Ooh.
I rolled a D100, right?
Yep, and it has to be either a 10 or lower.
Come on.
You can do it. You can do it.
15.
Oh.
What is 15?
50. 50.
Man, perfectly average.
In every way.
Well, so I guess you just saw Zeka like squinting his eyes and thinking really hard for a second, and then he like kind of hiccups, and he's like, "Nah, it almost worked," and that's
I
it.
like to think that Zeka wasn't aware that he had this ability. He was like, "Fuck, I really just need to figure out. I just wish I had a way." And he was just like unintentionally at this moment, like, I really
Mm-hmm.
wish there was a permanent way to just fix this. And then it's just like, oh well, there isn't.
Yep, that is exactly what happened.
Okay. Alrighty. But leveling discussion done now. Yeah, you guys will proceed to the catacombs. I'll say as a team basically gives you like one of her I'll say she gives you just a pass basically just to indicate that you have her blessing to go into the catacombs, and you guys will
Is it on like a lanyard? The pass that she gives us.
yeah, it's a 2-day pass. Doesn't have the fast pass though.
Oh fuck.
Pick your spells
It's a
later.
standard admission. But yeah, if you guys want to head to the catacombs, you absolutely can. Wait 1 second. Move this over.
Ode will say, "Oh, guys, I'm glad we're doing this because a lot of people died up there, and I definitely don't have the emotional capacity to deal with the fact that everyone else is gonna be sad, but they were essentially strangers to us. So just like doing some investigative work sounds like a way better way to handle that."
Yeah.
Well, Morak, didn't you actually know them?
Well, like all of them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold it in right now. It's a lot.
We're gonna find the cultists.
Like, it would be good if we could take some time for me to process this, but there's not many of us here right now, so I feel like we should keep going.
It's okay. What I
See-
just
You
bury
see
it
one
deep.
tear come out of his eyes.
Bury it deep in your soul.
So I guess catacombs, right? We're looking for signs of cultists, maybe
Yes.
finding some cultists.
A side note. Morak, would you like an emotional support, Bailey?
Yes, that would be nice.
I just plop Bailey on his leg, and then Bailey just like skitters up and just sits.
This thing seems heavier. You don't know what Kezia's been feeding him, but it's plumping up just a little bit. Not like it's an obese cat, but Bailey's got a little more of a belly than you remember last time.
He's actually being
David,
fed now.
David, sorry to also just derail the next minute. What happened to Pumpernickel?
Hey, great.
I was
fucking-
literally just thinking about.
Hey,
That's in an Elseworld story. We lost. You know how we traveled for 3 weeks from Catacombs to Cathartas?
Make it from
We ate him.
no,
We ate him.
make it from the having to. There was so much chaos in like leaving Rocky Carnablast. Outlet of Wonder.
Because we enough willing creatures, and then we didn't have enough willing creatures. We only had enough. You're all of us.
shit. Zeka.
Uh-huh.
It's dawning on you now. You
Said
have
it only had enough creatures for all of us, and we just forgot about
Okay, we
Well,
can't
in that
dictate
case-
what happened.
God.
Will, what do you want to have happened to Pumpernickel?
What the fuck you mean? He's my pet. I want him by my goddamn side.
All right. Brenna, for Will, I want you to roll a d20 to see how good of a pet owner he's been.
Okay, just a straight D20.
Yeah.
For the
Can you
boy.
add my
Here,
animal
let me...
handling, which I'm sure
You
is
can
great?
absolutely- in fact, you have to add his animal handling. I don't know what it is.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Let's roll animal handling.
I just realized animal handling's wisdom-based. Shit.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average. That's an above average pet owner.
You do have inspiration if you feel the need to reroll it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Are you serious?
Take away his inspiration on his
That
I-
from him.
character
I
sheet.
care about the animals that I take care of.
You see, the problem is that if we do
15.
Thought about him since November.
if we still have him, then you do have to choose who didn't come with us to Gautera, and one of us will not be in the game anymore.
I think it was Sunny.
Sunny will just cease to exist.
It was the second Ebenezer. You guys actually had room for him, and he was
And
trying to join. He's the one that supported native reallocating artifacts to native tribes, but you guys couldn't bring him. You had to bring the dog.
I
Oh,
will
right,
be
he's a dog,
right-
isn't he? He's a lizard thing.
He's a
Lizard dog.
Yeah.
He's a lizard monster about the size at this point of a golden retriever.
Oh, that's
And he's
And he's gonna get bigger.
boots. He loves eating Byron's boots.
I've been feeding him I've been feeding him the scraps of like any enemies that we've slain, because it's just easier that way.
We
So
haven't fought
he's getting
anyone
he's
since
getting he's
Rocky
getting the
Carnival.
taste for That's true. Well,
I don't like the idea of
currently
trash
Pumpernickel's
disposal.
eating up one of the guards is being eaten by Pumpernickel right now. Just like gnawing on his shin.
Maybe
Hey,
the cultist
you-
body. The cultist body.
No, let him decide that. Is he biting at one of the guards' bodies?
I don't know, is he? What
Are
makes
they?
the most
Will,
sense?
you have to decide.
You
this.
have to decide.
I'm
do
gonna
high or
say
low.
it's a 50. Yeah, higher heads. It's the who should he be biting?
The cultist body.
There's multiple cultist bodies.
All
as
right,
well. Or dead
yeah,
animals. for
heads.
that
It's the
matter.
cultists. Tails. It's the guards.
High or low
Someone-
is not heads or tail. Okay. Well,
Okay, high is.
I
you know
have a
what?
coin. Ready?
High or low it.
Okay, so we got tails. I can't remember which one that was.
That's the bad one. He's chewing on a guard.
He might get killed by another guard.
I mean, y'all can see it, and y'all can like tell me.
Yeah, hey Zeka. So I'm so glad Pumpernickel joined us. I'm sure he was great at defending you. But he's kind of desecrating. He's been desecrating some bodies right now. Maybe get your pet.
What? He's not doing anything of the sort. He's like peeing on one of the other guards.
Pulling at one of the arms.
Ode grips Zeka's arm. Get your pet away from the dead bodies of the friends who are mourning them right now.
Oh shit. Okay. Hey, Pumpernickel. Don't chew on the guards. Chew on the cultists instead. All right, these guys over here.
Good. Yeah, the cultists. I would.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
Catacombs over there. I don't know why we're going after that.
Well,
Hey,
it's because
David, does he
like,
do it? How good of a pet owner am I? Does he do it?
I'm gonna say
15 animal handling. That's pretty good.
rocket? What did he eat?
It takes
I've worked with him for a while.
You see some of the guard Zeka at Ode gripping your arm pretty fiercely. You're like, oh,
Oh,
okay.
wait. We should leave this up to Rocket. Okay. Okay, I've been working with Rocket for a while. What do you guys want him to do?
Shake.
What can he do?
He can spin or shake or maybe roll over, but that one's really hard for him.
Spin.
Spin.
Shake.
Okay, Rocket,
Oh,
spin.
good
you sit?
boy.
Can you
All
shake?
right.
Oh, your dog is
Do it.
so fucking
Wait,
cute. Oh my god.
You do it. You do it. Okay. Down.
Is it 3 for 3?
Roll over. Yes! Good boy!
Dude,
You
All right,
Pumpernickel
I think
does a fucking backflip through a flaming hula hoop and then eats a cultist.
No.
Yeah!
Pumpernickel,
Rocket's so good!
Pumpernickel on on being pulled away actually goes up to Ode and Ode actually and begins doing all these tricks as well that Rocket just did.
Ah,
And
Ode
then,
is
and then
Ode
goes
is
over and
warmed
starts
to
ripping the head off
Pumpernickel.
the cultist and just starts carrying it with them like a treat down the road.
Oh, good
Amazing.
Pumpernickel.
I don't like it.
Uh,
He's so
hey,
tall.
I will be like right back. I just
Good
I just gotta go change. I have to swap my laundry out. I'll be right back.
I turn to Morak and I'm just like, just remember, if I go missing for a prolonged period of time again, check that thing's stomach.
Real do.
You
Now
guys
my
see-
worry is that I think the cult has left a trail. I think this James RPG art might be behind this. His name's all over these catacombs, or maybe his partner Patreon.
No, I'm pretty sure that's for the graffiti that's up right around the outskirts of this painting, right here, that we cannot see.
James RPG art gang was here.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird that it keeps moving though. Whenever we're like walking down there, it's just always staying in that right corner.
I get stuck in my periphery.
Oh,
It's like an eye floater, but it's graffiti.
Yeah, that's so weird.
You can never look directly at it, but you know it's there.
Because as you're walking down the street, you see Pumpernickel unhinges his jaw and begins to just fully like swallow the cultist's head. And then as you're walking, you're like, you notice, for now and again, Pumpernickel looks back at you.
I just stand on the other side of Morak and I'm just like,
You see just every now and again, Pumpernickel's eyes just dart towards you. You don't know what it means, but you think you see it just
Frothing at the mouth a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I
Licking
pull out
his
my
lips.
dagger and I just like,
It looks towards Bailey.
and then I
It
sheath
bites it and starts playing with it.
Bailey can take him. Bailey can take this lizard any time of the
That was
day.
very generous of you, David, to have us not have abandoned Pumpernickel.
I want
was
you to
also-
abandon Pumpernickel so hard. I thought that would have been funny.
I was also thinking of having it just get lost in the woods and basically be the dire wolf from Game of Thrones that Arya leaves.
I would love for. I think it would be more fun if the next session that Eric Glaze is at, we ask him who is Pumpernickel, and then let his decision decide if Pumpernickel's still with the group. I don't think Eric Glaze knows that we have a lizard dog in the party.
Eric, let me tell you why that won't work. If you ask him who Byron is, I don't know if he'll know.
That's true. Ask him what class Byron is.
So many. Warlock, the fastest route out of playing Warlock ever.
We started this game with 2 warlocks and we ended it with 0. But
And
the
technically
characters
all
are
the
still
same
there.
characters. Yeah.
It's uncanny. Both Warlocks went to Bard briefly, and the only difference is Eric realized he also hates Bard.
To be fair, he was playing a shitty character.
He
Man likes
made a
Battlemaster.
very bad character.
I think he
Wait,
made a
what
very
was that,
great
Brenna?
character.
Oh, he just likes Battlemaster.
He does.
Fucking loves Battlemaster.
Honestly, this version of Sunny, he's living his best life. Irish accent, Battlemaster Feather.
Oh, I have some. If he was here, I had some more fucking goofs with James Songfoot as well in store for Sunny. I was so ready. It'll come up next time. It'll be fine.
What's funny is that like we've all been playing D&D for how long is it? 6 years, 6, 7 years together,
6.
depending on the people.
Yeah, Brenna's at 7.
Yeah. Eric Glaze has only ever enjoyed playing characters that are just goofs that hit people with a hammer.
Emotional
What
or
characters has he
otherwise.
played?
Well, no, each time he plays something that isn't a Battlemaster fighter or
I'm saying like he's only ever been able to play as a character in David's game. Right?
well, the mythology campaign.
He also has a
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
he
Bob.
also has a different campaign he is playing, and I'm pretty sure he's also playing a
Battlemaster fighter.
I'm sorry, are you guys I want to check in. Brenna, do you have fun when it's like a smaller group? Because I feel like sometimes I want to like start a conversation with Kezia, and then I don't really know
I have much
if
more
you
fun
want
with a smaller
Kezia to
group.
talk.
I also
Okay.
have more fun with smaller group. It's so much easier
Perfect.
to manage.
And plus, we
That's
get to
true.
have more characters just interacting with each other. Hi again.
Welcome back.
We were talking about the joys of playing with a smaller group of people. That way, you can interact with more people without cutting others off.
Unless you're
Oh, yeah,
Eric, in which case you find a way to cut people off all the time.
That's okay. ADHD brain go burr.
Drag him.
Thank you, Brenna. Thank you.
That was loud.
Great. Where's
Oh,
your
I have the
liquor?
soundboard turned down.
Can you
Here.
turn it down?
Here,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
in the back
Good
upstairs.
to know.
You should
Mhm.
go grab it.
I had it
Where's
turned
the
up.
Turn
bag?
It's in the
up
kitchen
or
by the
down.
dining table. Sorry, now Eric's leaving, but I think we can go into the catacombs.
Yeah.
Morik, you just take a moment, process how you feel by yourself. Don't talk to anyone about it, and then just like come back and join the group when you're ready to just move on.
I'm really glad I prepped this part because I had two ideas for basically, are you guys going to go to the catacombs or are you going to do anything else? And I was like, I know these people. They usually go for goofs instead. I probably don't need to make the catacombs ready. Wait, no, hold on.
You
Hold
gotta
on.
look at your group. You gotta figure out who's going.
That's precisely what. The minute I found out Eric Glaze wasn't joining, I was like, all right, the catacombs will happen.
Eric Glaze is our main goofs. Boy.
Goofy, fucking
Okay.
goofy goober. All right,
That's why
but-
Borscht is in here.
Ode, when Morak has stepped away, turns to Kezia and Zeka and says, so I don't know too much about magic stuff. Is there like good magic for like tracking things down?
Yes.
I don't Okay.
I don't have it, but
Oh.
it
Yeah,
exists.
there is theoretically, but it's like a little bit out of my purview. I don't know how to cast anything like that. I've known
Okay,
a couple
well,
people, but
I think we can rely on the good old five senses.
it's I'd rather
Oh,
four.
like
It's very
salty,
smelly in
sweet,
here.
sour.
Umami.
Here, let
No,
me-
no, no,
Umami.
no. Not tastes, Baker boy.
Let me
What'd you call me?
Baker boy.
I thought you called me Sneaker Boy, and I was like, well, I don't have my Air Jordans on right now.
Nah, but we do got to get your sneaks up.
Yeah, I got to get my sneaking up and my sneaker game up because right now I'm just rocking some shitty New Balance.
Can you wear shoes?
I like New
I-
Balances.
We've
They're
never tested
comfortable.
it.
The-
Can
They're,
you
they're,
wear
ho-
shoes?
they're horseshoes. They're horseshoes. Byron made them for me.
They're newly balanced horseshoe.
You guys should let us know if you hear food noises from us. Just
Okay.
I'm also cooking.
Before you guys get into the actual
Yeah.
catacombs itself, I will just do a quick description for it. So as you walk up, the catacombs of Cathartas are essentially they're actually very nearby to the shell company front of the Cerulean Eye. They are built into the mountain with this very grand, ornate entrance of like with.
Wait, sorry.
essentially,
I totally missed that, and then you said Cerulean Eye, and I was like, I should pay attention.
Oh, no, so the catacombs to Cathartas are nearby to the shell company entrance
okay.
of the Cerulean Eye. They're built into the mountains with this very ornate architecture built directly into it. I don't know the actual name, but it's essentially the building from the end of Last Crusade, where it's like this temple built sheer into the rock face, with like very like ornate steps going up to it, with like guards. Looks like more than usual, especially since you gave the warning to the team. But you guys flashing your day passes are able to go in pretty well. Once inside, the kind of noble facade, though, drops, and it immediately looks like the picture I put onto the screen of it is dark. There is there is light in here of just like different wall sconces just constantly lit. It looks like they have like different crypt tenders just go around to refill the oil in case anyone wants to pay any respect to like fallen orc champions, uh, great noble leaders. This is precisely where the team told you she investigated before, and this is where like the great heroes of orc culture are interred. For instance, the High Chieftain who united the Orc tribes, Gira Tuskbane, is interred in here somewhere. He's actually at the very deep end of it. But as you guys just go through, you see just rows upon rows of these different catacombs, caskets, stone coffins, everywhere all around you. And it is very dank and dark, if not for the torchlight.
Ew.
Ode turns to the group and she says, "So, in Cathartas, the shadow, the Cerulean Eye, obviously follow the way of the shadow monks, and we have like a positive relationship with the Tuskbanes. They let us operate in the city, and we the goal of the Cerulean Eye is to preserve culture and history. So we have or monks in the Cerulean Eye have a unique relationship of learning historic matters related to orcs that you might not share otherwise, based off of having a positive relationship. And our focus on like secrecy, our ability to keep secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And then this Cerulean Eye might even provide like security for specific operations, but I am not supposed to ask about security operations that the Cerulean Eye is doing unless they ask me to also be a part of the security
It's a
operations.
need to know basis.
Exactly. I'm specifically like not supposed to ask. And so one thing I know is that once you become a high level shadow monk, you get the ability to shadow jump. It's pretty fucking cool. And I also happen to know that the catacomb, like moving through the catacombs, are one way that shadow monks are able to move through the city. So it seems like these shadow cultists might have that same ability. So keep an eye out for really fast moving shadow jumpers, I guess.
Well, there's one right there, and I'm pointing at Ode.
Yeah.
Related
And
to
then Ode shadow jumps away and she's 60 feet away from them.
Whoa, it looks like she's about 60 feet away from us.
But related to what Ode was just saying, yeah, like, in addition to it, the catacombs extend, like, they're almost like the catacombs of Paris, of, like, they aren't just built into the mountain. They go down deep underground and are, like, built. As a quick historical thing for it, we've talked about this a little bit before, like, Cathartas hasn't always been an orcish city. It's been elven, it's been dwarvish, it's been ruled by demons. It's one of the oldest cities in the world and has changed hands so many times that these catacombs run so deep that you could conceivably reach the Underdark if you just kept going. So deep are their depths. Now granted, what is used by the Tuskbanes and the wider orcs is not anywhere close to that. There's not an entire mausoleum, but if you guys like begin to just keep going deeper, start going off from what are like the maintained areas, you could very easily get lost, is what I'm just trying to say. But likewise, you could use it to go under the city, which is probably what the shadow cults were doing, things like that.
Oh, do you know, I know you said you don't really know your way around this too much, but do you know any good ways to keep track of like where we are going and where we've been while we're down here?
Yeah,
breadcrumbs.
actually, that's such a great idea. And Ode reaches into her bag and pulls out a stack of papers and starts ripping to like tiny pieces.
That feels
So
weird.
y'all aren't gonna ask the bread boy to put down his breadcrumbs? All right.
I mean, you
Well,
could, but there's a
there's
very
actually
big chance that Bailey will just go back and eat them. So.
yeah.
Oh,
Bailey,
you're so
also
right.
like the rats, and Ode gestures to some rats.
Oh, do we have any chalk? We could
Yeah.
probably mark chalk on the walls if we go out from like the main path at all.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
if we find
seems
a
like a
dead
much better
body,
idea.
you could outline it.
Why would you outline it? Okay.
Well, okay,
You
so
have
Then
chalk,
we
right?
then we know where it was.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Let me see. Do I have any chalk or
Essentially
anything
rock
like that?
salt paper. If you have chalk.
No. I have some charcoal.
That works.
Oh, do we have some like tape? We can tape my pieces of paper to the wall.
What's tape?
What about the rats?
Maybe we can look at the mouse droppings from all the bread they ate and use that to get home. Well, wait, never mind. There's like a million.
Oh, we could use the mouse droppings to tape paper to the wall. And then Owen like smacks some paper on some mouse droppings and then smacks it to the wall.
Does it work?
David's not here. You can't tell us.
I'm gonna say it works.
It works.
It works.
It can be a Twitter.
I wish we
Cool,
had like a
so-
big chunk of string, because then we could just like make a thread that we follow back.
I have 50 feet of hempen
Oh, like
rope. I don't know how long.
I don't think
Ode can
this
jump
will make
that
it.
in 30 seconds.
We can in 6 seconds.
In 6 seconds, damn.
We could so I have this spell that's like the encode dot spell, and it kind of makes like a string of like visually what I'm seeing. So it's kind of like a string.
What if we all just work really hard to remember how to get out of here?
I like that. I think we could work really hard
I
and
think
figure
that
out how
would
to get
work
out of
better.
here.
Dot spell.
The
How long is
THOT.
thinking, tasking, and thoughts?
Let me check.
And also, how long is your string?
Detect thoughts.
No, not detect thoughts. It's encode thoughts.
THOT. Detect them.
Is it like a sticky string? Does it go? Is it like a spider web? Does it go on for forever?
All right. So the thought string disappears if it's more than 5 feet away from me. So, not the best plan.
Okay, it's good that these mouse droppings are keeping this piece of paper stuck to the side
I
of the
like this
wall.
idea. We'll use the mouse droppings as a backup, but we'll all work really hard to remember how to get out of here.
It's that I'm using mouse droppings as stickies to keep the paper pasted to the wall.
It's like a sticky note.
Uh-huh.
Wait, if we have some charcoal, if we have some sticks, we can just make a bunch of torches and then put a torch every like 6 units or so. And that way we have a trail leading back. Super easy.
Minecraft style.
Why is that better than the
Sticky
paper
notes.
poo? Than the poo paper?
Sticky notes. We came up with a name. Stop changing it to ruin.
I was poo paper.
I'm pretty sure poo paper
I'm just
already
spitballing right
exists.
now.
It's something that somebody over in Adora Land has made for
Yeah, see, we
wiping.
don't have poo paper over in Cathartas. We have the bidet because we're civilized people.
It's pronounced Biden. Excuse you.
Hey, David, question for you. Does rat poop work? You are very quiet,
Sorry, what was that?
by the way. Does rat poop work as an adhesive?
I love D&D because you just said that, and I have to decide.
I think it does.
Hey,
I
David,
think so too.
can you timestamp that and get that question as another one of the sound?
Highlights? Yeah, let me just look. 119.01. Got it.
No, for a sound button. Just rat poop work as an adhesive needs to be a sound button.
Add sound button.
It's a pretty good sound button.
Second?
Anyway, quit stalling, David.
I mean, naturally, it's how it works in the real world, I assume.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll allow
All right,
it.
good. I'll do that every like 60 feet or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll be on rat duty. I have to pick up all the rat dropping.
And it's actually like
So, like-
shadow jumping back and forth to be able to like put up paper markers without slowing down the group.
And I'm handing you rat droppings occasionally.
Great.
Right.
Unless you want to pick that up yourself, because like I'd be super chill with not picking up rat droppings.
I was kind of just gonna put the paper directly against the rat dropping, so none of our hands have to touch it in general. But I mean, they're already in your hand right now. You're kind of covered in rat poop.
I mean,
so it's
Yeah.
easy.
honestly, like go where you want to, not where you want to be. You're so good at collecting rat droppings. So I think you should just keep it
It's
stitched
not
up.
to go where you want to be. That's a very Morak mentality.
Well, wait, are you putting the paper on the ground? I thought we were like putting it on the wall.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm just kind of
oh,
I'm scooping the rat droppings with the paper and then I'm sticking it to the wall.
oh.
What is this game?
Well, I've
Oh, but
got
you
this giant handful of rat droppings, so I think you
Well,
gotta use it
Yeah,
now.
why don't you scoop the rat droppings with the paper and I'll shadow jump back to you and grab it?
I just need to say this because I just thought of it. Kezia, don't you have mage hand?
I do.
Oh fuck!
She doesn't.
Too late.
She doesn't.
Too late.
Oh, I wasn't gonna. I'm not touching that with my mage hand. No.
It'll get stinky.
It'll
You'll
get.
get a stinky mage hand, then
Plus,
everyone can
most of
see
my mage
mage
hand-
hand because of the stink line.
Plus, like, mage hand is just Bailey doing things for me. Like, that's how I've been flavoring it.
These rat turds are more than the 10-pound limit of the mage hand.
Oh, Bailey, would
my
you be
God.
interested in helping us? Like, because you wouldn't mind touching the poo quite as much?
Bailey just pats Morak's shoulder, like, I have a job to do here.
Alright.
The utter refusal to use any of your options. Yeah, you guys are able to create a trail of paper covered in rat shit. Good work.
So, do we know where we're going in here?
Remember, this is a backup to if we, because we're all working very hard to remember how to leave the catacomb.
Uh-huh. Morak, didn't your sister say something along the lines of like, there was symbols found down here?
Yes.
Okay.
Do
It
we
said
want?
they were finding the symbols of Shargaas
Okay.
around here and other runic symbols, I believe.
Did she tell us where we could find it? If like, and the path that we could take to get there?
Did she? No.
She didn't tell you the specific path, but she did tell you eventually that there was a room almost with like an empty room where she specifically saw like tables, the map that she actually used that identified like the attack spots probably. The runes there. So you don't know where it is, but you know there's a specific room that she reached ultimately.
Is there? How long ago did she go? Did she come through here?
A day or so ago.
Any? So this place looks kind of like dusty in the picture. Is there any like tracks that we can find?
Go ahead and make a
Survival check,
yeah,
investigation check.
Survival or investigation, either one, whichever you prefer.
I'll take investigation. 20, dirty.
God
Oh, it
damn,
says Zeka. I need to change it to not be
plus
Zeka.
10?
I do.
What, Sam, hell? Yeah, no, moving through it, the team wasn't trying to be stealthy. She was just investigating a rumor. So you do see, like, different bits of, like, scuffed stone where it's, like, her metal boots were, like, scraping against the stone. Different, like, bits of disturbed dust. Just different things of that, and you're able to kind of find your way further in. It takes probably half an hour to an hour or so, but you guys are ultimately able to find your way to once again to the what you assume to be the same room. You see, once again, it's just a really basic wooden table set up with like a chair or two there. Covered in dust except for like a big rectangle, which is clearly where the map itself was before the team removed it. And you see carved on each of the walls. Yeah, you see the symbol of Shargaas, which I'll once again just pop up there. But yeah, you find a good starting point for this map, and you know for a fact people, including the team, were here in the recent past. Excuse me. As you look around the room more, you see it is just a. I don't know if Kezia, you can make a investigation check. Morak and Ode, if you guys want to make a history check, you can as well.
Can't roll that for once. 25.
Okay.
Did you roll for me as well?
Oh, yes, Zeka as well can.
Zeka for what?
Zeka can make an investigation check.
Okay.
5. Sorry.
Morak has
19.
consistently in this game rolled pretty damn high for history. Except for Shargaas. He really doesn't know anything about Shargaas.
Kezia
Okay.
25, Zeka 19. Good job, Zeka.
Okay.
Thank
As
you.
as you guys look it over, you see that where they are where these symbols that are carved over very specific coffins that are placed. You see, like, it seems like they are skipping a few. They're not putting it over every single every single. Is it coffin even if it's stone? I'm getting held up on it.
Crypt? No.
Sarcophagus?
Sarcophagus.
No.
Thank
Oh.
no,
Nah, just coffin. It's a stone coffin. Doesn't
it's a
matter.
stone coffin. I'm gonna move past it. But
Skip.
Tomb.
you see Kezia and Zeka as you guys are kind of fanning out over the room. You see these different symbols are carved onto the far wall. And then you see smaller ones are carved into the top, like the top stone slab of this coffin. Not everyone, and it's very faint. You need a very discerning eye to actually notice it, which is probably why the team didn't. She was just kind of passing over it very briefly. But you definitely notice these same symbols. Ode and Morak. Ode rolled a 5 and Morak a 12. Ode, you're not really able to remember a whole lot about who the exact people are in this crypt. Just this particular spot. The catacombs are mostly used as a training ground more than you're reading about who each individual person is. Morak, though, tugging at your memory, these are kind of celebrated orc warriors. You can't remember the exact ones that have been marked once Kezia and Zeka pointed out to you, but they are celebrated orc warriors for sure. And they were basically like laid to rest here as like a place of honor as opposed to just, a random foot soldier who was killed in battle.
Hmm.
Let me check my notes as well.
It's a weird pattern here to them. Does the ground around it sound hollow at all? Do the impressions like do they depress a little bit if you like push on them at all?
Yeah, they depress just a little bit.
Huh.
It doesn't. Yeah, they do depress just a little bit. Where's the?
Sorry.
I need to grab a pen real quick. I'll be right back.
Wait, is there a visual?
The
No.
only visual in Roll20 right now is an image of a dark, kind of dusty tunnel with curved stone like ceiling and walls that are lit with sconces every once in a while.
Okay, cool.
That's the only visual we have right now.
Love me a good sconce.
I will whip one up real quick. Couldn't find a pen, and I'll just look for it again later.
Couldn't find the pen.
Let me see.
We have the best puppy. Yes, we do.
You just
We
want
just
corn.
have the best puppy.
You just want corn doodles.
Yeah, we do. He's looking between us like, which one of you is more likely to give me the corn pop things?
Corn
Are you
doodles?
making
I've
them?
never heard of that.
Corn
just a
doodles.
quick
I don't
visual
know.
just so you guys can kind of see it.
Oh, I guess there is a visual being made.
It wasn't.
That was a
there
funny
before.
visual, Brenna.
Okay, it's a house.
Did you guys see that?
It's a house with 3 windows. 3
Is this the crypt?
Yes.
3 doors and 3 windows.
Skyrise. City. Swimming pool.
Oh, is this Pictionary?
Yeah. David's not giving us any clues. Death row. Spaceship.
Wait, Will, are you on Roll20?
No.
No.
Why'd
Okay,
you
so
ask for a visual?
He's drawing a cube, in
Okay,
which there
so-
are 7 coffins. 3 along the top, 3 along the bottom, and a third one on the left, such that it makes almost like a C in a box.
Can someone stream their screen?
No, this is fine.
He marked 4 of the coffins with X's to indicate that the symbols were on them. 2 along the bottom right, 1 on the middle left, and 1 at the top right.
I screenshotted and sent it into the chat just for clarity as well.
Perfect.
So the ones that have the X's are the ones that you guys found to have those kind of carved symbols of Shargaas into them and on the wall above them. This little thing in the middle there is just the table that Zateem found and took the map from earlier. That's all. And then this is just the entrance to this particular like section.
Also, yes, someone can stream their screen. I was joking by being rude, so sorry.
Second.
Does it look like the coffins were tempered in any way other than the carving? Like, were they opened recently?
I'm not gonna make you roll for it. Yeah, they look like they were very recently opened. Like the dust around them seems to have been disturbed.
And that's only on the ones that are marked and not unmarked.
Correct.
Should
Can I-
we?
Can I? Sorry.
You go ahead, Will.
I was just gonna ask if I could like, have we checked for traps yet?
Ooh,
the
good
room?
thought.
No, I can do that though.
Okay.
Can
Where are you
I
checking for
help
traps?
her do that since I have
Absolutely.
proficiency in investigation?
But yeah,
21.
is Milos with us too?
Now Milos is still chained up at Ernest.
Oh, right.
Oh man, I don't have my boy.
21, David,
Yeah, oh,
for trap
um,
check-in.
What are you specifically like? Where are you checking? Is just what
So
Everywhere.
for especially the 4 things, the 4 coffins, I want to check to see if there's like any move, like if you can shift them at all, like if they're like lighter than they really should be, and if like I see any wires around them, if I see anything on the like maybe on like the edges on the inside that indicates that there's something inside the lid that if it opens it'll trigger something, stuff like that, just traps.
So they are not like lighter than they appear. They are hefty things. You guys could definitely move them off, but you would need to exert yourselves in order to do so. But as you kind of poke through, you don't know you. In fact, I will say this: you feel confident that there are not any wire traps or anything of that general nature that are going to kind of mess you up. That you can at least immediately see from like a trap rigged onto it itself.
Okay.
And you can't see what's inside just because it's placed right on it. But high or low?
Low, I'm guessing. Yeah.
The cabin or the coffins that are specifically marked are put back on, but they're not perfectly set as the other ones were. Like there's very slight traces that they were moved. Like here's a pen. If that's like the thing itself, it's basically supposed to just be a I can't draw. Never mind. I'm gonna just do away with that visual. Basically, it's just offset, as if it was put back on, but imperfectly.
Okay. It doesn't appear to be any traps, but they primarily lifted the lids. Do we want to try to do that with one of them? Morek, is that something that you're comfortable with us doing?
Normally not. I feel like this is a rare circumstance where I'd be okay with it.
Okay. I'm not uh able to lift them. Can you?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
We can try.
let's get this. Grab it.
Do we need to make a check, David?
I'm assuming that you and I are strong enough to move this.
Pivot.
I mean, I'm not
Pivot.
super strong.
roll a d20 for me. I just want to see if one thing in particular happens.
Just a straight D20.
Yeah. Okay. As you guys are picking it up and kind of shifting it off, Morek, you lose your grip for just a second. Ode's kind of shifting it over, and you like, whoa. You grab it just in time before you drop it on your foot.
Okay, there's. I'm not wearing steel toes today.
Oh, you should change your armor to be steel toed.
Oh yeah, and there's some nice Carhartt boots. Some
But
Eric
as you
Eric boots.
You
Just
raise up
solid.
2 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as you open it, this coffin is empty. There is like some like clearly like way ancient burnt like incense and like dust and stuff in there, but it's clearly been disrupted. There is no body inside. And if you guys actually yes.
Sorry. You finish, and then I have a question.
Okay. Yeah, just and as you see it, you see like there are scrape marks on the inside of the coffin. And if you actually look at the bottom of it, you see like imprints and similar scrape marks.
Scrape marks?
Yep.
What the fuck?
We
Yep.
need a
What's the
young
question,
priest
Mary?
and an old priest.
Oh, that's a reference to that good play that showed here a few years ago.
Yeah.
The Exorcist?
Or airplane.
Was it a comedy or oh, it was one of those comedy horror plays.
I know
Ah,
it's a reference to one of these plays, and I can't remember.
my favorite horror comedy play is what's it called?
The
Oh yeah,
Airplane Exorcist.
the airplane exorcist.
Could
Lauded
it
and
be top? Could it be Naked Gun? I forget.
the naked crossbow.
The Naked Crossbow.
Uh,
It is Exorcist. Okay, cool. No, the problem is that I think it's referenced in like other movies. So I can never
It's a
remember.
quote from Austin Powers in reference to a possessed automatic rotating chair.
That's what it is. It's Dr. Evil in the chair that's spinning. He's like, I need a young priest and an old priest, but it is from Exorcist. See, I knew.
No, she's saying.
It's a reference to the Exorcist.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
Anyway.
play's fun.
So what does this mean? Scraping it like nail scraping or like things moving past each other scraping?
More on the side of nails.
Ugh.
Make a,
Assuming they were woken up and they tried to get out before they were let out.
Hmm.
I want someone to make an Arcana check.
I can.
I'll do it.
Morak. Is there any chance that these were the same ones that were up above?
These were the same. So the ones that were up above, David, were they like undead shadow things that came out of the shadow area, or were they the guards that had been turned into shadow monsters?
Yeah, to clarify, because it kind of got muddled during the session, they were shadow monsters that rose from the shadows and killed the guards.
Okay. So, Kezia, I guess it's possible, like, that they turned these corpses into shadow monsters that then they used and summoned and stuff. That seems not unreasonable. I mean, it would be it's very unreasonable to do, not an unreasonable idea.
Morek, that theory seems a little stronger because you see remnants of like magic carved into the base of this coffin. You see, it's hard to tell exactly what it was with just a 14, but you see distinct like signs of like magical runes and such.
Yeah, this is pretty disturbed. But that kind of checks out with how you were saying the cultists were talking.
Yeah.
Kezia, can you make a investigation check again for me as well?
Nice. 26.
26.
Okay. You see kind of on where right beside the what's the word I'm looking for here? Right beside the coffin, you see a very faint in the dust impression of some footprints. But what you what throws you off at first, you weren't sure whether it was maybe Ode, Morak, definitely wasn't Zeka. You can feel confident about that, or maybe even Zatim. But they only appear at one side of the coffin, and then you see it a little further, like a significant distance outside of it, and like away from this room.
Like they shadow jumped, or like there's secret doors? Okay.
Shadow jump.
Okay. Okay, yeah, they've been just shadow jumping everywhere around here. Huh.
But
Hmm.
now that you know what to look for, it'd be tricky, but there's a potential that you could try to follow it.
Yeah, I'm gonna point it out to the team and just be like, okay, so you see, it's kind of like how Oath does it. You can see it here, and then it jumps to here, and then there's the next one, and then I'm going to try and follow it.
Okay.
Does anybody want to help me?
I'll help you.
Mary, you
Like,
looked like you're
Ode
about to
should
say
help.
something.
Yeah, did we get a
Or
short
Ode can do
rest
it.
after the Okay. Ode, you see when like Kezia's pointing this out, like looks really disturbed. And she just like as Kezia starts moving to like the next one 60 feet away, Ode just kind of like just looks upset that they're using this thing that she's like trained so hard for and like held so close, you know?
Mhm.
And so she's like, yeah, I'll be right behind you. And in that room by herself for a second, she's going to cast the darkness spell in the room and see if that does anything.
Oh, Mary, excellent work.
Ooh!
As you do, you see the different runes that were kind of appearing in the coffin. As the darkness kind of consumes the room, in this coffin, you see those runes re a light. You can see them with your dark vision. They're
Yeah.
not shedding like a significant light to break through it, but you see them reactivate essentially.
Oh fuck!
Well, no. You don't get the sense of like it's about to set off a bomb,
Oh,
but you see
okay.
that they were not fully destroyed or done. They are still there and still active. I will also say make a perception check.
Ooh, because darkness technically you shouldn't be able to see through with dark vision, but also Ode has the feat blind fighting that lets her like see in a 10-foot radius. So
Even beyond that, this is a very specific thing I had written down in case this happened. So,
okay,
okay, yeah,
18.
no. You see the kind of wisps of magic from this kind of reach out and like almost like kind of jump around the coffin as if they are looking
Oh.
for a host. They eventually, it's almost like a spark like jump like pinballing was binking out for a while and then kind of begins to float towards you. Do you try to evade it or do you let it kind of like come towards you?
I would evade it for
Okay.
sure.
Make a dex save for me.
Evade and start punching.
I think this die is weighted. It only rolls ones and 20s. This was a
15 dex
one.
save. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it begins to move it kind of moves towards you and then as you kind of sidestep away from it, it just kind of continues moving out. How far away is everyone else?
Not very far, I would imagine.
I
Probably
was
just
gonna
outside of the
follow
darkness.
and help, but then Morak said Ode should do it, so I stayed behind.
Oh,
I think once I start seeing it go towards the door, I would dispel the darkness spell.
As you do that, the spark goes with it immediately. It seems like whatever that did, a lot of what the effects do function only in absolute darkness, such as, for instance, the inside of a sealed stone coffin.
Okay. Interesting. Ode will go to the group and she'll say, so I cast darkness in there. The runes were more visible. The occult symbols were more visible, and this like spirit kind of came out of them, like it was looking for more magical hosts. And then I got scared and dispelled the spell. So I guess if there's anything we want to investigate very, very carefully, I can do that again a few more times today.
Oh, can you just give me one more perception check for me?
Yeah, of course. I love it. Do. 18 again.
Oh,
Consistent.
in addition to the kind of spirit thing you just described, when you were in the absolute darkness, you just had this uncanny feeling of being watched. Not it's not that you saw someone who was staring at you. It's not that effect of like if you're like going through like an old Scooby-Doo manor and you see the paintings and you're like, "Oh, the eyes are following you." It's just this that un that uncanny feeling of like I feel as though someone is watching me. And as soon as you dispel the
Ooh.
darkness, feeling fades.
I think like Ode, who's really big on like sharing as much of information as possible, like immediately, like I want everyone to know everything, like actually doesn't feel so uneasy by that. Like she doesn't mention that feeling of being watched to the group.
Wait, she does or
Does
doesn't?
not. It's kind
Oh,
of unusual for her because
Okay.
it made her so uneasy.
wow.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Character
Yeah.
development.
Uh-huh.
I'm explaining it to you, Eric, Miko.
Wow. This is pretty dope.
Look at
Okay.
he's so cute. He's curled up in a little ball, like in the two legs of the dining table where our computer is set up. It's very sweet.
It's so cute. You see Pumpernickel try to get it to bite a bit of the stonework.
Oh, sweet
It's
puppy.
teething.
So Kezia, did you say you might be able to follow these shadow jumping tracks?
Yeah, maybe. It might be a little bit difficult, but if you've got experience with it, I'd appreciate your assistance.
Yeah, I can tell you like about where I would jump to if I were to jump somewhere next.
I didn't roll too well. A 22
And a 22.
That's
and a
with
22.
advantage from Zeka, correct? Because he was helping you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you let her roll again with Zeka's help, Ode was clearly very unhelpful.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
no. The way I was doing it was since Zeka is helping you with the actual skill and Ode has experience, I was lowering the DC.
oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are, especially with Ode guiding you basically on the relative like distance. You have like you basically as soon as you find one, there is a very finite like area that would look for the next one, and you guys begin to make progress. You see, it is. Let me move this back to a less just. There we go. You guys begin to make progress as you move further and further into the catacombs. Every now and again, you guys are a little concerned because it is very difficult to continue tracking it, but inevitably, with just a few more minutes of work, you are able to find your way to the next kind of disturbance of it. Morak just walked away, didn't he?
Yes.
He had to use the restroom.
I'm going to use
Morak is
this
just
as an
taking a squat
opportunity
in the
because
side.
there's one thing
Morak is like, okay, guys, so I really, really have to pee, but I obviously can't pee because we're in the catacombs and I don't know what to do.
Be in the bag of holding.
Oh, that's great. And you see him like go into a little cutout.
I'll actually be right back because I also have to.
That's allowed.
What is the word?
Cute.
Okay, that's the word. Perfect. Soon as Morak's back. Alrighty though.
We had him pee in a bag of holding.
Oh. Ooh. You guys didn't activate the piss trap I had rigged up for the whole dungeon.
Yeah. Which would just wash you away in like a tide
No,
of
we've just been using the poo paper instead. It's much more sophisticated.
A sophisticated. I love D&D.
It was so like during the Lord of the Rings The Two Towers movie, it's so funny like the scene where they're told by some raiding party that they killed all a party of orcs and left no survivors, and then Gimli and Legolas and Aragorn go and like investigate like the pile of burned like orc bodies, and they're trying to look and see if Merry and Pippin are still alive and there, and then they're like upset because they think that they're like must have been killed with all the carnage, and then I think it's Aragorn or maybe Legolas starts seeing like, oh, this is like the outline of a hobbit, and they must have crawled this way and their hands were bound and you can see their binds right here. I was like, oh, someone rolled like a 20 on survival. My goodness. I just couldn't turn my brain off from thinking like that.
honestly, it's the good
That's
way to
so
think.
funny.
As I was watching, when they were like cutting between the scenes of them actually going through this game, I was like, fuck, that is such a good way to do tracking, because otherwise you're just saying like you find some rope, and I'm like, no, you just kind of give it a little bit of flair, and I was like, fuck, this
Yeah.
feels great.
Throughout the whole movie, Mary kept coming over to me and saying, "Here's the D&D thing, the amazing scene where Gandalf shows up to save everybody. All three things is the only zone," and I'm just like emotional because Gandalf's here to save the day. It's a high level fairy fire he was casting.
Light shines down from the sky on the enemies. I'm like, that's gotta be fairy fire, right?
There's a part of her. I'm like, what?
Mary, you're amazing.
Mary's great.
Oh, and then the part where Gandalf shows up as like Gandalf the White, and you think it's like Saruman like coming to attack them personally, and then he casts heat metal on someone's sword.
Aragorn's sword.
Aragorn's sword.
Best scenes in that movie is when it's like, you are nothing, Gandalf the Grey, and then he's like, bitch, I'm wearing white now. Everyone's like, oh shit,
That was dispel magic.
yeah.
Yeah. Or dispel curse, one of those.
What on?
Remove
All right.
curse.
Remove curse.
Morak is returned. Now getting back into it though.
David, lean closer to your computer.
Thank you. I will forget constantly, so you'll need to keep reminding me. But as you guys continue to follow this trail, as you continue to move down further and further into the catacombs, Morak, you know a lot about Cathartas. The catacombs are a little bit of a not a blind spot. You know what they are. You know the ceremonies. You've been through ceremonies like interred warriors, things like that. One thing you do know about them, very specifically, is the path to Gira Tuskbane, the High Chieftain who unified everyone. And you are, every step you follow this trail, moving more and more towards it. The way the catacombs are somewhat set up is essentially kind of a pyramid as they slowly begin to bottleneck towards it. It's not necessarily always a case of here's the common soldiers at the front and the nobles at the back, but there is certainly a special area devoted for the former High Chieftain. And you just get this feeling in the back of your mind of, oh no, as you guys constantly are moving towards it. Seeing along the way, you see every now and again, once again, these carved symbols onto the walls or the coffins or anything. And if you choose to break them or deface them like Kezia did before. You don't notice any like specific magical effect breaking off from it. It's not as though you're dispelling it. But each time you move closer and closer and closer, Morak, you just can't help but get this feeling. Right up until you are there, and you all see in a very sequestered room far at the back of the catacombs the final resting place of the most honored orc in the world at one time. Let me make sure. Oh, God, I just built that up and the map looks so fucking dinky.
It's crayon. Morek is looking at it with his eyes a little bit watery from how beautiful it all looks, with how much care and thought
That's
put
so
into
funny.
Intricacies of the stone
intri-
carving.
the stone like honestly, like all of you feel emotional seeing the artistry of all the stone carving.
The legend of Gira's like
It's like
leadership. Was it a man or a woman?
Man,
Orc? Oh,
man,
okay,
some of the most like
of course it was.
beautifully created
much party.
tapestries showing
Let me
like
go away.
scenes of his great feats and the battles that he was in. Like this amazing tapestry of Cathartas with him standing on the cliff, looking down upon it. Everyone cheering, like the detail is insane. It's beautiful, and we look at the coffin, and also just like gold inlays, jewels all over it. Like it's just amazing.
Yeah, so
That's,
that.
oh God, the area shifted. Oh no, run! It's like Maze Runner.
As you move in and enter this oh so, as you can see, oh so holy and sanctimonious of places. Sue me. I didn't have time to make an incarnate map. You enter into the room, and as Mark described, along the far wall is just this massive, intricate mural.
Oh. Also, can I add there's a quote along the top of the room, and it says, "Let not weakness live in your veins. Rise up from your deathbed and move forth, more perfect for the struggle."
I don't know if you could pick up on me snapping, but that's perfect.
It's beautiful.
It's
Morek's crying.
it's a quote from a cult leader in a show we're watching.
Oh,
What show?
no.
Severance.
God damn you.
That's funny.
Well,
Right.
as you can all see plainly, the immaculate detail
That's a
of
good orc
It's a
quote.
good orc quote. I'm not angry
Oh,
about it. I'm,
it's
I'm
100%.
emotional with the beauty of seeing the tomb.
Translates that quote for Kezia and Zeka because it's obviously written in Orcish.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is.
Oh,
Yeah, you got it.
this is whatever, like alien of the week was on Star Trek. However, they're talking.
So wait, you guys kind of this is where the path led, Kezia?
Mm-hmm.
And they were in here? Can you tell where they were standing? What they did?
I can see that they stood here, and then they ended up jumping over to this spot here, and then there's just a lot of footsteps.
You do
Um,
notice as this one, the shadow stepping stops, and from there you do see an actual trail of footsteps. Seems like whoever was jumping around started to genuinely just walk through this room. Okay.
Can you see if the the tomb of Chieftain Tuskbane was messed with? And Ode looks kind of like
Almost
chilled and
definitely.
even. Oh gosh.
Which one's his, by the way? I actually don't know these two.
Okay, so yeah,
The only one in the room.
so this is a
Oh.
good chance to describe the room. So it is a
Look how
circular.
beautiful it is. Clearly on the map. There's only one.
It is an ovoid room as described, and Keza, you're able to. The red lines are just where you are able to kind of follow the footsteps.
They walked around here, and they went up to this wall right here. Don't know why. I'd like knock on the wall, and then I will walk.
All around it, though, you do see the mural, everything carved. That is what this entire kind of ovoid center room is. Off to the left and right, Morak, you know this is where his weapons were kept. Like where he was buried with basically his armor, his axe, his sword, his shield, every weapon, every armor, every personal thing that would be considered just an artifact of to what many orcs believe is the second greatest warrior to live after Grumpsh.
I'm glad you caught yourself, David.
Do you go look at the side rooms?
I It depends on how quickly Kessie is going towards the coffin. Morag would go look at the side rooms to make sure they're not messed with.
Okay.
As he starts to follow more towards the right room first, and then like abruptly turns and follows back to the back area. So yeah.
Investigating the wall where they clearly went to.
Well, Kessie is clearly just like awestruck at the artistry of the room, so she's probably taking a while. And Morak's been there before, so he doesn't have to take as long. So he'll go towards the S room.
Okay. Yeah, if you enter into the S room, you see it is just an array of weapons, like immaculate and incredible things from a life well lived. It kind of looks like a Dark Souls player's inventory, honestly, with just the sheer amount of different weapons, like specifically along this far wall. But you see at either end, the north and south end, you see a special place of honor is given to two weapons in particular. A massive great shield that Morak is. You're pretty fucking strong. You're not sure if you could pick it up. It is just this massive black iron great shield with just the symbol of the Tuskbanes painted on it and just hung on the wall with a kind of with just some sconces beside it to alight it. And at the other end, similarly detailed, is just a massive two-handed great axe, all ornamentation all over it with like the kind of at the point where the two blades join, you see a large decorated ornamental version of the Eye of Grumsh with like gold and silver banding around it and like a jade to form the single eye iris, basically.
See
you know,
Zeka, you see he was such an amazing warrior that he was able to wield both these things in combat at once. No
What?
no one understood how he had that kind of strength, but they guess that so was somehow 24 out of 20.
Oh my god. How many people did he kill?
I we don't count.
That's
But
so cool.
a lot. Okay, then I'll go to the other room to make sure it wasn't messed with.
you don't see any signs of movement or anything was basically disturbed with it in either room. At least not with a very brief glance. In the A room, though, you see.
What do A and S mean?
Just for my sake, it's armor, swords.
Oh, okay.
Literally just for me keeping track of it.
ASGW.
Anyway. In the A room, though, you see just on a mannequin, you see the armor that he once wore. And Morak, it is very reminiscent of what your armor looked like at the start of the adventure. Very often, Tuskbane's ceremonial armor is built and based on it. The main difference is obviously just quality of it. There is not, for the chain, there is not a link out of place. The plate is immaculate and like just this ornamental, it's dragon scale and just different things on it, all manner of enchantments. And the helmet is just in full bloom a crown of antlers and thorns to symbolize their power. It looks, if you wore it, it's like having just full on like a series of moose antlers and such, like all built over it. It is massive and towering. And throughout the rest of the room, you see like different bits of armor of just like defeated rivals. You see like some Imperial general armor. You see a Warforged, like just straight up a Warforged skull, just placed on a pillow beside it. Just it seems like this is just a area of like, here are further trophies, more organized towards armor and such. Ode, what are you doing right now?
Wasn't doing anything in particular.
Okay. Then yeah, Morik, after having left,
You grab one of the swords and just like fucking going at it like a little kid at a toy store.
it's like playing with lightsabers after you buy one.
Yeah.
I think actually, yeah, Ode goes back to the sword room once Morak leaves it and like tries taking things off the wall and putting them back on and seeing if like an alarm sound.
You don't sense any alarm immediately.
Okay.
You see Morak for a brief moment before he decapitates you for disrespecting the land. Yeah.
Is
Zaka,
there?
are you doing anything? You were with Morak, right?
Yeah, I'm just helping out Morak with whatever he's got going. Can I make like a religion check to see what's going on here? If there's anything like, maybe not necessarily the Grumsh religion specifically, if that makes sense, but like if I can see the way things are arranged that like may demonstrate, I don't know, some kind of a religious significance, just like from a ceremonial perspective.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Kezia, if you could roll that for him. And then just to give further detailing, like there is that massive mural all around the circular room, and at the center is the final tomb of Gira Tuskbane. It is massive, detailed, ornamented. You see his visage holding a stone version of his axe and everything.
9.
9 with a 9 on the religion. I mean, this is clearly a place of like hero worship, like unto an idol for the fallen Tuskbane and all of this. But beyond like obvious like Grumsh and Orcish pantheon symbolism, it's very hard to find anything else. But yeah, you do see this trail, because you pointed out this trail that then led back to the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should all like regroup at the coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kezia spent some time looking at the mural, just to see if there was any impressions or any of the symbols that were carved in the other locations of the moon, just here, like out of place. Or in place. Hopefully not in place. Perception? No! Yes. 10!
It's just the beauty of the mural is just like taking you back, and you've kind of lost.
It's more like the
ability to look at
intricacies. I'm
other
like,
stuff.
huh, even though the same mural that's like carved in such detail, it's
Like,
kind of
oh,
impressive.
the swords are made of actual metal paint.
Every time I like glance over it, I see something new.
Hammered on to the stove and
Oh,
everything.
that's cool, yeah.
Whatever. And then I go back over to the coffin.
A lot of gold leaf.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's like the amber hills in the farmlands behind the cliffs of Cathartas are gold leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, because that would be the one thing you never want to do.
Yeah, I
You
think
wouldn't leave this city alive.
no.
Alright.
So yeah. Ugh. I just mark on my face. Like right here.
No. No.
I imagine we regroup around the coffin, and Ode might ask, like, so I'm sure we can't lift this one like we lifted the other one to check on it.
You know,
Is the symbol
maybe.
on it?
Roll investigate.
Really tiny.
24?
It's on there.
What on there?
Dead center. Kind of like akin to like a pharaoh's. It's like very detailed and ornamented, like over it. But you spot it just carved, just almost as if just one other like protective like hieroglyph almost was carved out, and they substituted it in and just hoped it would just remain unseen. But it is certainly present.
Morak immediately just like puts his hands on it and starts trying to move it. Once he
Yeah.
finds out the symbols on there,
It
Ode
does
will follow his lead and help them.
it doesn't budge.
not budge even an inch. It seems like almost magically bound to this spot as it resists any effort to make it have some give.
I'm going to take my dagger and I'm going to carve over the symbol. Like just like a line.
It does not get as you try to carve into it. Whatever this one is made of, it is much sturdier stuff. As you try to carve at the stonework, it does break. Like you're able to like in the area immediately surrounding the surface of bud.
Okay, I would stop too far. Like if it would damage the rest of the coffin, but yeah. Cool. I'm gonna cast Identify. Morek, I think it might be a good idea to see if there's something holding on to it. I cast Identify.
Okay. 1 second.
The
Can you pop
coffin
Identify
to see
that
what
for me?
magical effects. Yeah, absolutely. I can do that. No problem. Definitely not stop. Yeah.
Why is your page like that? Oh.
1 second.
Spend like a
I'm just
minute
typing.
tickling it with an owl feather.
Looking at it with your pearl magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Okay. It is, in essence, a version of the arcane lock spell. Whoever put this over it, and you can't tell from it whether this was put by the cult that has marked this grave, or whether it actually wait, no, you're identifying specifically the symbol, right?
I'm identifying the coffin. It should affect everything that's on the symbol and like on the coffin.
Okay, then yeah, the coffin is under the effect of some kind of arcane lock, upcasted, because I can't find another relevant spell, but it's sufficiently powerful. That is basically just willing to or trying to will this coffin shut, unless essentially it says a password or otherwise like an effect. Basically, it is locked unless someone does something to unlock it.
I know how long ago this was cast, potentially. Like, I'm going to roll Arcana for that to see if it's not something that Identify would necessarily give me, but...
Roll Arcana, I'll let you.
Okay, cool. I can't roll natural ones.
Oh, thank God. And yet...
I'm so sorry, Morak. I'm not allowed to learn this. This isn't something I know.
I mean, it's a hard thing to learn. You can't.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
not
my
your
third
fault
natural
that
one of the
there's
day. I've rolled 3 natural ones so far today.
Rough.
Jeez, do you want my natural one rig?
Yeah, forgot about that. But yeah, Kezia, you're not able.
Hmm.
What you do know from the
Does
identity?
Kezia explain that it's some sort of arcane lock?
Yeah. So she ends up just like, yeah, some sort of arcane lock on it. And the way that kind of ability works is it will lock it until a password is spoken. Otherwise it's unless you can dispel it, Zeka, like we can't do anything with it.
I could probably dispel it.
Can you cast the spell knock?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Oh, Zeka, let me try first. And Ode's gonna try to remember like any of the things that the cultist said to her when he was like, "You should join my cult of whatever it was,
Shargaas.
Shargaas, like kill the halfling, and you've betrayed the shadow
What?
gift or whatever." Just trying to say like the words that he said to her, basically.
Make a history check.
He said the
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't.
To be
Thank
fair,
you.
Kezia, you probably suggested multiple times that you should just kill him.
Oh,
17.
You have a
well,
decent memory, especially with it just being earlier today that he was arrested. So you try through like any of like phrases like
Like Shargush, like praise Shargush,
I
like
love
that.
you, Shargaas.
the shadow
You're
father,
so
touch
cute,
down the
handsome
Tuscan, kill the
Shargaas.
little one. You actually keep trying. Kill the little
kill the
one.
little one.
Kill the halfling. Kill Kezia. You try that a few times. That one doesn't
In like
seem
multiple languages.
but none of them seem to work. But with a 17, you are reminded that a lot of the spells only work in absolute darkness. That was kind of the lesson you learned from one of
Okay.
those earlier coffins.
We could try to dispel it, or I could try to cast darkness again. But Zeka, if you want to try dispelling it, that seems like the safer option, if you're able
What
to.
because what if you cast darkness on it and it triggers it? Like, what if it actually hasn't been triggered yet?
Well, I think the implication was that it's fully dark inside of the casket. So whatever might be triggering from darkness happening inside the tomb has already happened.
Okay, that's fair.
Zeka, are you
Well,
gonna
let me.
try any dispel magic?
Yes, I think I have it prepared always. It's like a class ability or something like that.
At the very least, I will say you can definitely have had it prepared. It seems like a generally useful spell.
Especially even
hmm
with like the having prepped for the parade today would make sense to have dispel magic prepared, really. So
Especially knowing
hmm
you're going to be called. Yeah, the end result being you absolutely can have it prepared.
Okay, dope. Then yes, I will do that.
Okay. What level are you casting it at?
Ooh, good question. I'm assuming that there's no way to tell um what level the arcane lock was.
No, I'm sorry, I
Alright.
don't know.
I'll let you make an Arcana check with no one to help you to see if you can decipher it, or if you can get an edge for it.
It's definitely
Sure.
higher than any kind of magic Morak has. Which isn't saying a lot. I'm just putting that out there.
Can someone do that for me?
Oh,
Oh,
right.
yeah, sorry. I can do
we're
that,
just
absolutely.
waiting for you. Like you
I
gotta
know,
roll it, Will.
Well,
yeah, I'm like,
we're waiting.
I don't know if I should be permitted, never mind. 16? That's not bad. It's above 10, technically.
That is indeed not bad.
No, I don't think you're able to quite decipher what level you get the sense it is
Okay,
powerful.
I thought that was the roll to dispel it, and I was like, David, you need to know what level spell it is. You can't just make it up on the spot.
I know what level spell it is. But
Yeah,
that's for him trying to gauge it. You
that
do
makes more
not
sense.
know exactly what. You know it is powerful, but you don't know how powerful.
This is
So we can assume it's more powerful than what Morat could cast, like definitely.
Now, you didn't have to bring it up, Road. I just said that.
Oh.
Do I just roll the dice, or do I go for a big one? I don't know.
The highest you can cast is level 5. I imagine it
I say
being
just go for the big one.
not higher than level 5, to be honest.
Nah,
Like, what's
but
gonna
if we're
happen?
we're in the. Seriously? We're in like a dark, scary catacombs right now. Of course, combat could happen.
I don't know.
Mm,
Optimistic.
I'm
Like
gonna do it
every
at
time we've
third
been on a
level. I'm
boat,
gonna.
we've only had a combat like half of those times. And boats are very combat oriented places.
You're gonna cast at 3rd
You
level?
know, yeah, third level.
Okay.
So David said we aren't getting into a combat.
Yeah, also that.
I need
Yeah,
you
but maybe
to-
it could like be the end of the session or something. I don't know. And also, like, Zaka doesn't know that.
Exactly. I think that's playing well to your character. Your character's knowledge.
Kezia,
I think you should get an
Exactly.
inspiration for that.
Oh. He will, in fact. He will.
Well,
After the roll. Let me see. Just need to look up the spell real quick. Okay. So, he is going to roll with his spellcasting modifier, which is +8.
Oh, I
+8. Wow.
I know, right? Fucking weird.
can't do that. How do I... You know what? I'm just gonna... That works. How dare you? I was just gonna roll
mean-
Shocking Grasp.
Shocking
+8 feels very high. I thought it was just a stat used for it.
Oh, is it?
Or am I?
Hold on.
Or is it the? I
Let
thought
me-
it would.
here, let
Wouldn't
me
it
pull
just
it
be
up. I
plus
made a mistake.
my?
Make an ability check using your... Oh, you're right. So it's only +5 then?
Yeah. Or I think it's
You
+4.
just rolled 2 extra times. All right, we're not. I'm not calling that kosher.
I would say maybe you could take Brenna's
Mm.
first roll, but even then it was a...
bad. But I'm not taking the third go
Do-
at it.
Do I
I
get
like
an
the third go. You
inspiration
should
now
take the
for being
third
very
go.
truthful, Mr. DM, sir?
I'm not giving you the inspiration until this is resolved to specifically stop the save scumming.
Fine.
Okay, to clarify, that's a +4. God damn it. Alright. Wow, either way. But no, with the 14, which is what we're going with, because it was the first one Brenna rolled, and I'll allow that with shenanigans.
It was one higher than yours, David. I'll take it.
Well, yeah, but it has the +8 added to it.
I know.
Yeah, that's also true. Shit. Well, we're getting far in the weeds right now. It does not succeed. So mark off that third level if you could, Brenna.
Already did.
Mark,
And
should I try again?
I feel like narratively, no. But like logistically, yes, you
Yes.
technically could.
We could just go through until we succeed.
Wait,
We
it's an
tried to do the
ability
darkness thing,
modifier,
though.
right?
Yeah.
Could anyone help me with that?
No.
No,
Does anyone
No.
have
no.
Dispel Magic?
But I'm going to now just... I'm just going to say this happens, just to kind of move this along. As you guys do this, you see shadows begin to kind of, almost like it was filled with water, just kind of begin to kind of flood out from the seam of the coffin and begin
Fuck.
to fill the room. Ode,
Ode punches the shadow.
What a
you
sentence.
punch it good.
Do I hurt my hands?
Oh, you punch the
Rolled a
shadow.
2, so I'm gonna
Shadow.
say you're fine. You beat the shit out of that shadow though. But
Goes back in.
as it begins to fill the room, that you do see, however, at the far end, from a very, very small slit in the wall, you see kind of an outpouring of that same kind of energy you saw previously. Everyone else is totally fucking blind in here. Actually, no, it's darkness. Everyone but Ode is totally fucking blind, except for that same kind of thing you saw when you cast darkness on the coffin earlier, coming from a spot here in the wall.
Oh. Uh,
Shit, it's
oh, it
dark.
says, north of the coffin, there's that, like, there's that rune again. Maybe you guys should move away from it? I don't know.
It's
Maybe you
almost
should
like
touch
Or-
it.
like coming out.
Yeah, maybe I should touch it.
Do you
Yeah, go
go?
touch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
As the rest of us are just like, I can't see shit.
Ode, as you walk over to it, you see it isn't the same symbol that was there before, but instead you see a very, very small slit in the wall, similar to kind of the way that shadow monks enter the real headquarters of the Sorority High.
Mm.
Where as
Okay.
you look in, you can see it is similarly caked in darkness, but you see what those wisps are coming from is it almost looks like a torch in the middle of the room, unlit. Let me pull up what that looks like. But yeah, you see it in there, and it is total darkness in there.
And Ode can see with is this like magical darkness that people who
Yes.
have dark vision can't see through right now?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Um, Zaka, try to work on dispelling this darkness. I'm gonna go into this room here.
Oh, don't go alone. Take
Okay.
me with you.
No, just don't not go for any of the ornamental armor if you're going into that room. It's kind of important.
No, it's like a secret room. Yes,
Oh,
take Bailey,
sorry.
and then Ode
It's dangerous to
Shadow
go
jumps
alone.
into that room.
Take the familiar.
So, David, just to be clear, this is like magical darkness?
Yes.
Okay, I will use a third level slot to try and well, do I need to know the source in order to dispel it?
I'd
Or is
say
it more
this
of like a wave?
I would say you could dispel this one if you so choose.
I will choose.
Okay, mark it off. It doesn't resist as the other one did. Doesn't you know what I mean? Um, Ode, you
Stop
see
resist.
the
Never
center
mind.
of the room in kind of a pedestal. This is a very small, just circular room that seems like its only function is to hold this thing at its center. Right there. Um, but as you look around in this total darkness, you see. Where is it? Okay, here it is. You see written on the wall, just kind of written around, kind of almost like just around the full circumference of it. You see in Orcish the words, "To walk the path of shadows, recreate our initial betrayal."
Ah, interesting. And the torch is unlit in this room.
Yes.
Okay. Um, but Zaka was able to dispel the darkness in the other room.
Yes, he was.
Okay. Uh, what should I do? Okay. Okay, Ode will start making like a thought strand of like the writing on the wall and what the torch looks like.
Okay.
Did you tell? Did he like shout? Because we don't know what.
I said like I'm going into the secret room.
Okay, but we don't know what's written on the wall.
No.
Mm. Let's see what's. Oh man, I can't say that because I don't think Ode would know it. What does Ode think she should do?
I start making a shadow.
Oh,
I start
sorry.
making a thought strand. I
Sorry.
don't know what else to do.
Okay.
Um, I guess I do that just for a minute, and then I might try to go back to the main room when I get back.
Yeah, you can definitely Yeah, no, I'll say you can get back. I'll just
Okay.
sidestep that particular thing. Do you grab the torch with you, or do you leave it where it is?
Oh, I leave it.
Okay. Okay.
I had a cool torch friend.
So there's like a room that uses like the same shadow jumping method of like you can only get into it by shadow jumping, and like an unlit torch that's like really begging to be grabbed. What do you guys think I should do?
Well, I mean, is it just a room with a torch in it?
Oh, and there's a quote on the wall, and it says, "To walk the path of shadows, recreate our initial betrayal." So I guess someone betrayed someone, and that led to like the sh the shadow cult of Shorgash
Alright.
being formed.
Ode, make a religion check.
Like, I think Eric knows.
Hmm.
Not great.
Ah,
9 and 8.
What is? God damn, you guys!
we've been.
I could use my inspiration.
You guys don't know shit about fucking Shargaas, apparently. God
I
damn.
mean,
Well,
I'll use an inspiration.
we were told by when we were talking about Shargus.
Could I do history instead?
Yes, but hold on just one sec. I want to see what Eric Miko says.
Well,
'Cause
we
if he
were
has the
told
right
when
answer,
we
I'm not gonna make you roll for it again.
when we were initially talking to Zateem and Sonny with his encyclopedic knowledge of this for some reason, we learned that Shargus was like cast out of the pantheon of Grumsh because he tried to kill him. Like that's the betrayal. His initial betrayal was that he tried like recite our initial betrayal. So maybe if you go, maybe if you go in there and say like we tried to kill Grumsh.
It says recreate our initial betrayal.
Oh.
I could take you into the room and try to kill you.
I mean that wouldn't happen. Can you take me into the room?
No.
Okay, well, one, yeah, that couldn't work too. Like, just like flat out kill me. Like, it would be a pretty awesome fight. Anyways, maybe go get the torch. I don't know.
What do you guys think? This is pretty scary stuff.
Maybe try to like, maybe it's like like, was it a lit torch or was it not lit?
It was unlit.
Unlit. Maybe light the torch.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's how Charles tried to kill Grumsh. Like lighting the fires of war against.
No,
Oh
I
God.
just we're here because we're trying to protect the bodies down here and learn more about the cult, right?
Yeah.
So I guess if lighting the torch would give us more information about like the cult or like what happens in this room if the torch is lit, like that might be good information, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Like clearly the cult's doing something with it. Like clearly that's something related to Shargas.
Yeah.
Like
I'll go do I'll
Like-
start with lighting the torch and then we can say me like pretending to attack you
Yeah.
as a backup plan.
yeah, like there's two options here. Either this is a Shargas thing or you'll like this is clearly the Cerulean and I having a secret room behind
Not
you. Okay.
totally super duper not the cerulean eye.
Okay, so I feel like
Hey David, was the cerulean eye thing?
No.
Okay.
so clearly we
I'm
should
mad
be
that I
okay
go
with
around,
lighting
I'm
the
like, "How
torch
the
and finding
fuck
out
did
information
you
of the
get
cult.
backstory?"
What was that?
No, that was a cracking a joke.
Okay. All right. How do you?
Yeah, lighter.
Yeah. Do you have a lighter?
There's a big lighter and he gives it to her.
Maybe maybe the torch is supposed to be lit with like darkness.
What?
Well, why would you increase the light of a room with the
You
like
said it was
focused
a
on
torch in the
shadows?
room. It was just a black torch.
I'll try. Oh, okay. Fine, Morak, and she jumped. She jumped.
I'm just confused as to how you like to torch the darkness. This is a Shadow Monk thing, then this is your prerogative, but you also said it wasn't a Shadow Monk thing.
Well, it is a Shadow Monk thing. It's not a cerulean eye thing. Oh, jumps back into the room. And then holds up
I would think's
holds
more
up
on maybe
glider
doing
to the
that.
torch. What was that?
I said Ode considers more so the option of killing Morak now. Yeah, if you go If you go into as you teleport back in, and as you light the torch, you see like this white flame ignites on the torch. What the rest?
And then wait, and then she immediately shouts back to Morak, "See, it's on a regular flame, Morak."
Did it light?
And then as Ode does this, you don't notice anything immediate other than this kind of white flame is now kind of popping up in front of you. For all the rest of you, you see the lights of the different torches, sconces, everything in the tomb begin to dim, and die, as it is absolute pitch darkness in there with the tomb in these catacombs well below the surface, as there is
That's
no
very
light.
scary.
Oh,
Ode, you hear
dude, all the lights are off out here.
Well, don't you have dark vision?
No.
Oh yeah, is it magical?
This one isn't magical darkness, no.
Oh, it's fine.
I grab
Nothing
like
happened.
Morak's like sleeve. I'm just like, I can't see.
Well, I would light a torch when I gave my one light.
Do fearbolgs have dark vision? I can't remember.
What were you saying,
Do I have dark vision? I can't remember.
Mm,
No, you're a
Fuck.
human.
he's not though.
I'm not a human. I'm technically a fearbolg.
You're a
Um,
skater.
Let's find out. I don't know.
I don't think fearbolgs
I
have
feel
dark
like-
vision.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
you
so either,
do
but-
because you kind of didn't write it down in your stat sheet. Nope,
Listen, I don't think I do either, but
you don't.
there you go.
Nope. Okay.
We figured it out, gang.
All right. Yeah. All the light fades from the room, and it is just caked in darkness.
So should I just like bring the torch out to you guys? Maybe if we shine this weird white light on the tomb, it would tell us something, or it would open.
Yeah, maybe. Like,
Okay, Ode grabs the torch,
Okay.
and she shadow jumps back through the hole to the main tomb room.
Okay. As you do so, immediately you get a reaction. The rest of you all, other than the absolute overwhelming darkness, you then see, as Ode kind of steps back into the room, these two illusory figures standing on either side of the coffin. One looks to
Ooh.
be about a 8-foot tall cycloptic figure wielding two great axes, and the other seems to be a cloaked figure with the same torch that Ode is now holding, the same type anyway, and a black dagger. And they seem to just be facing off against one another.
Like facing off, like fighting.
Yeah, like almost like a frame out of an action movie, like mid-fight. Like the cycloptic figure is like mid bringing down the axes as this cloaked figure is like brandishing a torch towards them and bringing the knife around.
Are they shadows or can we see facial expressions?
You can see facial expressions. The cycloptic figure looks very angry, and the other figure, which, one second, need to pull up a description. Okay, the other figure, while cloaked, looks orcish, with pronounced tusks. They're larger as they're bringing this dagger around.
So Eric and Mary can figure out that this is Grumsh and seemingly Shorgush attacking him.
yeah.
Is that something that Ode and Morak would figure out?
I think that's a fair intuit, yeah.
It looks like that one's Grumsh for sure. I guess
100%.
that one's probably Shorgush based on what we know.
Yeah. This is Sorry, I'm kind of overwhelmed right now. Yeah. Do we know if anything else is happening in the room?
Nothing that you can see. It seems like these illusions are here mid fight, and that is what you see. Shut up.
Can you see if... Sorry, I must have lost words. You see, like, you can tell that, like, Morag actually seeing what Grumsh looks like is, like, kind of a lot for him.
Yeah.
Can we...
Kezia, Zeka, do you... I don't know, this is really spooky. Do you have any thoughts?
Hmm.
On what? I can't really see anything. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, can
I'm
they not
really
see
thinking
the
about how
figures?
dark everything is.
You guys can absolutely. Sorry, I thought I made that clear.
Oh,
You guys
gotcha.
can't see anything, but you can see these illusory figures. Like, all of you can see this.
And Ode will say out loud, if we haven't already, like, that looks like Grumsh and that looks like Shreya.
Yeah.
Okay, well, is that the thing where they mean take stuff? Somebody has to stand there and get stabbed?
Hmm.
Or do you need to stand where? Do we need to line up the torch with that torch?
Oh, yeah, I could do that and see if that starts something else. It's like it's like an escape room. This is very fun, Dave.
I mean, I don't have 2 axes right now, but
Wait, there's in the rooms.
okay. I go into one of the room and grab 2 axes.
Yeah, you get two that roughly match the grade.
And Ode pulls out. Does Ode have a dagger? Would you have to borrow one from Kezia?
At the very least, you could find one certainly in the room with the weapons.
Kezia, could I borrow a dagger? I don't want to use Grumsh's or
Because he is the one friend that
chieftain's
always
dagger.
has a knife.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
need
What, a
knife?
dagger?
Oh, and Morak, do we have an eye patch or something?
Just wink.
Uh,
I'm not cutting out an eye. We used to do that decades ago. We decided it's...
paper over your eye.
I would rather you not. I will just wait. Hey, wait. And he presses his armor thing, and an eye patch is on it.
That's so funny. That makes logical
Oh,
sense.
Good. It's so good.
And to include Zeka and Kezia, Ode's like describing like, okay, Morak's gonna go grab some axes and I'll stand here and maybe you guys stand on like either side of the tomb and like look at it to see if this opens it or something. Okay. Yeah.
You
And
see
is there a
Morak
reason we're
just...
not casting light?
I think this won't work if there's light in the room. I mean we could
Oh,
try
okay.
it. Here, do you have like a cantrip that does light?
I think so.
Here,
Don't
try
they?
that and see if it makes this all disappear.
Let me see. Do I have that, Brenna?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Shocking
Huh.
grasp,
I felt like
prestidigitation, message, firebolt.
You just cast
Well.
fireball.
Yeah, I'll just do that. No, I won't do that. I won't do that.
In the room with the tapestries surrounding it.
I now have control flame, so that's pretty cool.
I mean, with control flame, Morak could just hold it in his hand if you wanted, but I don't know if he's
But
gonna.
I have to hold the 2 axes.
That's
Well,
fair.
here, and Ode hands Kezia or Zeka the Bic lighter.
Oh, hell yeah.
As he just unsheaths her flame tongue and it emits bright light.
Oh, right.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you light up, as you pull out a Bic lighter, a flaming dagger, and Morak just summons a small fireball in his hand. Yeah. As the light fills the room, the illusion fades and the torch actually dies.
Oh, so
Interesting.
I sheath it and put it away.
Okay.
yeah, I turn it off.
Okay.
Zeka's mesmerized by the big fire.
It's like
Bic lighter.
one of what he sees
Whoa.
flames.
Hey, Zeka, turn it off.
I do that.
Immediately it refills the room. You guys
Okay.
skipped a step. You already figured out that you needed it to be dark.
So Morak will go over and get 2 great axes. And
Okay.
it's like this is kind of weird. Like, don't even know how you'd fight with 2 of these. Kind of seems kind of one-handing, two-handed weapons right now, and there's 2 of them. It's kind of like you could throw your shoulder out pretty easy. Okay, anyway.
Maybe
This
this is you thinking about how you might want to expand your capability.
Yeah, I might just take a level in barbarian so I can do this.
Morak's looked into power stancing recently, and he's really.
Oh god.
I'd give up my
Who-
shield, but
Okay, something that Eric would do that is totally getting translated into Morak right now is when he raises both great axes, he's like, "Oh, my delts, so good! Look, they're popping."
let me be
The thing
proud
is,
of me working out a lot, okay? I'm very proud
only
of it.
Ode could see it, though, is the problem, and she doesn't care.
She should care. She should care.
Marion
who is-
cares, and Ode
who
does
is-
not.
Who is taking the dagger? Is that Ode?
Yeah, because I can see.
Makes sense. Okay. Morak, I just need you to make a strength check for me, just to wield both these great axes.
Most important strength check.
Yes!
Please.
Yes!
25, Will.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Sure.
amazing.
As you bring it up, you're like, I could do this. Oh wait. Like you're holding it, but kind of like how you can hold yourself on a pull-up bar for a while. You can do this for a while, a lot longer, but you're gonna need to put these down in like a minute or so, or your
It's
arms
like
are
starting
dead.
he's starting to feel it, you know?
Yeah.
I
It's
think
like,
he got in position, like, as Ode was like, "Oh, this is a good night. Do you think the dagger looks enough like the one that the Shargash figure is holding?"
For takes like the other one in her hand, and it looks a lot more similar. She's
Freda, you kind of cut out there, but I think I got it.
okay.
Was that
Sorry.
You're
No,
good.
you're good.
Okay.
you hear a pop.
Okay, Ode gets into place, like mimicking the Shargash figure.
With both of you standing there, you see the illusions finish their animation as the figure you guys have identified as Grumsh brings down the great axes onto the Shargus figure as they slash at them and back away. And as this completes, you hear just a stone mechanism as the slab to
Woo!
Tusbane's tomb begins to slide off and then deposit itself onto the floor. And then the illusions fade, and the way forward is open.
I pull my dagger again with the light.
Okay. If you guys look inside, you see there is no Tuskbane chieftain in the coffin. And you see just a pool of sheer black at the bottom. If you or any of you are inclined to poke it, it shimmers and like disturbing the surface of water.
I
But
cast
it-
Mage Hand and do that. Cool.
I can't make that sound effect loud enough. Exactly. But yeah, you see the surface of the shadow water disturbed, but you see nothing else. A hand doesn't reach out and grab you or anything, but there is no body in there, and there is a very large pool of shadow.
More?
Yeah.
Do we need to there?
What?
You kind of cut out.
Do we need to go in there?
I don't want to, but
Mm.
yeah, probably.
Well, it seems like it's either that or go back and tell everyone that their most prized chieftain's tomb has been desecrated and we don't know anything about it.
You could also have Zeka dispel it.
I can do that. I can dispel it. That was an idea that I came up with on my own.
Are you sure you could dispel it?
It might be that we get more
I'm
information by continuing to investigate it.
I mean, I feel like we're at a point where the next logical thing is let's get into the shadow puddle.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that.
I mean, you know the play of Danny Phantom where he goes into the ghost zone is the shadow zone.
How do we? With
Do
what
we know it's a
evidence?
portal? No. Maybe it's a little puddle. We just get to splash around in it. We don't know. Who's going in first?
Here. I'll just go up. I'll hold on to the edge and I'll like drop my toesies in.
You put your toes in?
I put my toes in.
You immediately die.
Let's get that strength saving throw in there.
I move everybody. Like, yeah, let me just.
Kezia is down in the pool and gone. You do not see her. She is gone.
They probably ate me.
Well, clearly we're out of our heads. We're over our head on this one. Jessie is gone. Or she did this on
She will be
purpose.
missed.
He will be missed.
Bailey just.
Will be missed.
guys, we gotta go get her. And then Ode
Of
kind of like
course, of
peeks
course.
in, and then she says, "After you."
Oh, you can go first. You know the shadow stuff.
You guys see Bailey running around. Dives in immediately after Kezia.
Aw. All right. Well, Zaka,
All right, I'll go in. Yeah, I'm already getting in.
Strikes.
Like whatever, right? It's probably fine.
All right.
Does he just go
TPK,
in?
casual TPK.
So Kezia, Bailey are in. Zeka, do you go in next?
I am in.
Okay.
I dive in head first.
Hell yeah. Give me an acrobatics check. I want to see your form. Kezia, make
Oh
an
god,
acrobatics check.
that'll be bad.
we could have all
Good
new
acrobatics check.
characters.
Like I have to get
It's not
married in 2
anticipating this.
weeks, or I want to be covered in shadow goo. Or I don't.
Zeka, you rolled a 16. Your form is, while not perfect, pretty good given the fact that you're still wearing armor and everything. As you dive in, it's a, I don't know, 7 or an 8, but, you know, that's pretty good given the circumstances. Kezia, I'm sorry, but you got pulled in by Shadow.
It's why I gave it.
Okay.
Okay, Ode will turn to Morak and she'll say, "You better come in there and help your friends, or I'm gonna tell your mother." And then she tries to shadow jump in.
It goes
Form.
smooth.
Okay, it goes down smooth, like a good shot of whiskey.
Morak, you see walking around, you see Pumpernickel watches Zeka go in, and immediately just kind of just lays down at the base of the coffin, is not following Zeka.
Aw, it's sweet though.
Good
He's
job.
waiting
And
for me.
I give him a little scritch on the head, and then I look at the 2 axes that I picked up. Which one looks better, David?
They're both very good. So I don't have the stats pulled up yet, but they're both comparably good to one another.
Mark puts one down, puts the other one on his back, and says, this better not put me in the ass. And then he cannonballs into it.
Alright, you all go in. All of you feel surrounded by shadows, just in pitch darkness. Coldness surrounds all of you, except for Ode, who feels a little more at home. It's similar to the feeling of the instant as you shadow jump, just longer. But Kezia, you're the first to enter. As you deck save.
You got it.
I think he's fine if we take him out at 4.
22.
Okay. Kezia, in spite of getting pulled in, nimble like a cat, as you land on the ground, almost superhero landing style, but as you look around...
Oh my.
Oh, fuck!
And then shortly thereafter, you see Zeka.
Do you want your...
Kezia, have him make a dex save with advantage.
21.
Zeka, shocking grace. Very shocking amount of grace for your dive. But you did pretty damn well. As you land beside Kezia, you kind of the dismount is a little bad as you kind of land on your foot. No injury, just a little wonky. But as you find your footing, you look up and are you watching the stream, Will?
Hang on, I can be.
Just so you can see what stands before you.
Oh boy.
Morek, similarly, you follow. Cannonballing, and make a dex save for me.
I knew cannonball was a good idea. I'm gonna hurt my ass.
Your ass hurts, but you're not injured by it. You're a little sore. Actually, what it is you land and you're actually mostly fine, but you're used to more wielding a sword and shield. You have this great axe on your shoulder, so there's extra like weight on your right side, so it's like so it just messes with your form. Ode, meanwhile. Morak lands before Ode. Ode, as
I hurt my
you
ass.
descend through the shadows, you just hear some faint whispering, some faint laughter, and I need you to make. Let me check real quick. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay. Scary. 6.
Ode, as you land, shortly after Morak, maybe 10-15 seconds, but you distinctly hear that laughter. Everyone else, you fell through and just kind of appeared falling from the air and just land. Ode, you feel this coldness wrap around your arms, and if you look towards it, beneath, or at least apparent on your fur, are just these black marks, and the symbol of Shargaas on your right shoulder. Actually, on your left forearm, similar to right about here. And you all look
Wait,
forward before
she's
you.
got fur. Is it like shave?
I think it's like in the shape of her, like her fur is in the shape of that symbol now.
That's kind of cool though.
It's both. It's whatever is the coolest looking for this moment. And you all land at what can only be, as you look before you, the temple to Shargaas, deep below Cathartas in the catacombs.
I'm sorry.
Oh, also you hear behind you whatever members of the party will arrive in the next session to join as well. They were a little slow behind you, but they're on the way.
We left a note on like the poo thing that described what happened briefly.
Hey, God!
You hear Byron getting bit by a pumpernickel on his way down.